There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to count down from 30, and then we're about to go live. So, yeah, before I fade away, if you're thinking that, wow, he looks pretty dope in that shirt, it's because his shirt is my son's, and he's a lot smaller than I thought it was mine. I realized that from here up, I look pretty fly. From here down, doesn't cover everything. So I'm going to go ahead and have to. I'm not. Well, maybe it's stretchy. But I was like, dude, I look pretty ripped, dude. I should wear skin tight shirts more.
Right?
Oh, fuck yeah! You want some of this?
Oh, it's too funny. That's good.
I haven't seen my kids in like a month. I think it feels like a month. November
Oh,
8th, pre-COVID, and then they got COVID. I got COVID. We all got COVID. Oh yeah, I'm
what is
supposed
this fucking Oprah? You get
supposed to.
COVID. Everybody gets COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So before I get the kids this weekend, I'll have to tell Hunter, hey, you got any extra shirts?
Do you need any shirts stretched out, buddy? Come on, let me.
Yeah, what's up? They're like, why do you have a towel wrapped around your waist? No reason.
It's a kilt. It's a white kilt.
Kilt. Did you call me doughboy? I'll punch you in the dick. My little sister used to call me Doughboy, and then she bought me a fucking shirt that said Doughboy and had the Pillsbury Doughboy on it. And then she walked by and she go,
Did you punch her in the dick too?
Yeah, well, yeah, we haven't talked for like 15 years, so that sucks. Oh, well.
Boy, that's fucking tough over a shirt, dude. Man, you're a grown ass man.
You're a grown ass man. That is just a perfect way to start the show. Perfect fucking way.
That's right. I'm fucking drinking Truly lemonades tonight.
Oh, wow. So your estrogen's going to be up. Yeah.
Through the fucking roof.
Through the roof. You're starting to get cramps right now. I can tell.
Like, is this normal when you...
That's what she said.
I always felt I'd be more of a string guy than a wing guy. I'm just saying. I think I would be.
Wait, what?
No, nothing. All right, fine. I mean, what's worse? It's truly mango. It's truly mango.
Wow.
Dude. So hold on, pinky up.
Yeah. I heard that Summer's Eve is going to make a version that's pretty much just like that. Yeah.
I think it's going to taste just like this.
Yeah. Do you have one of those long, skinny cigarettes that looks like it's got flowers in it, but really it's just long, skinny cigarette? What were those called? Capris? I had a buddy who dated a chick who smoked those, and I was like, hey, you want to trade a Marlboro Red for one of your little vagina cigarettes? She was like, yeah, sure. And we traded, and she's like, oh, Jesus, this is so thick. I'm like,
if you think that's
right.
thick.
That's right.
I didn't want to stretch your mouth out all of a sudden, like, so the next step, she's like, oh, would be like a cigar.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. So you went from the Capris, you went to a man-sized cigarette to Macanudo Portofino. I'm thinking of Churchill.
So we're
what
already
are the
live.
Short cigars that are thick? Short, thick ones?
There was no countdown. This is very unprofessional. I was ready for the...
I know. Hey, welcome. Shelfhelp Show presents Geoff and John doing shit. All right. Am I echoey or I feel like I'm echoey?
Yeah, I'm a little self-conscious about the goatee today. Yeah.
What did you do to your fucking face there, buddy? What happened?
Dude, I went to a 5 instead of an 8.
What does that mean? You use electric stuff to trim your...
Yeah, I use the buzzer.
Why?
Because that's how I shave my head too.
Oh, you shave your head? I thought that was just alopecia.
That's funny.
I was going to invite you to come to the home studio here, but I didn't want to catch whatever the fuck you have. So
I don't know what you're talking about. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, look at me in this shirt. I look ripped, and then look this lush hair.
Yeah, you're a little intimidating right now.
I'm like,
are you an extra from Sons of Anarchy or something right now? That's what
right.
I'm thinking.
That's right. I've had the comparison. Opie, I think someone told me.
It's like
Like,
he's tough. He's tough from the chest up, but he's wearing a towel.
They're like, didn't anybody tell you I look like Opie? I'm like, is this because I have a large beard and I rode a motorcycle to work? That people go, you look like a biker. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, duh. That was kind of what I was going for. Dad bod biker beard. Sorry. I started the biker look before I bought the bike. By the time I got the bike, my beard was like.
Well, you wanted to try it out, right? You wanted to try it out first.
Yeah. Then I was putting on my dating profiles. I was like, like hobbies. I was like motorcycles, football, beer, and pussy. And it worked. And then I was like, that's crazy. I wonder what happens if I'm not offensive. And I just put motorcycle riding and football. I don't even like football. I just put it down because it fits a type. And then there was less swipes.
Really?
So they like to know that I like motorcycles, football, pussy, and beer. But if you took pussy and beer off, they're like, what fun are you if you're not drinking and eating? You know what I mean? Boom, boom.
It's the everlasting gobstopper, dude.
So I just backed up, and then I got the motorcycle, and I just had a picture of me riding the motorcycle. And I'm like getting my 14-year-old daughter, hey, I need some shots of me, action shots. She said, what's this for, Dad?
Hey, put on Hunter's shirt first.
Yeah, go grab one of your brother's shirts. Just shoot me from the waist up. I look buff as shit.
Just right behind the handlebars.
The kids are they're like, why are we helping you with anything in life? And I'm like, because you love me and you need my money. They're like, okay, we need your money. Fine, drive by again, Dad, but don't smile at the camera. You don't look tough every time you do that. Well, whatever. Fucking.
Well, stop saying cheese. Stop saying cheese.
They're like, you ruined it. I'm like, oh, man.
Well.
Bikers smile. They're like, not like that. You look like you have special needs. I'm like, stop it. Hey, guys.
Kind of looks like there's a dildo on your seat and you're sitting on it. And it's on.
Yeah. I ran away from the strap on and God, it was following me.
It's like, listen.
But yeah, anyway, got up with just the motorcycle and no stupid smile. The glasses. They're like, just cover your face. Like, just make it easy. You look like you're in
You're a health conscious person. Don't spread the virus.
You look like Mad Max. It's fine. You look hot in that helmet. I'm like, okay. That was like motorcycle. Ding, 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 ding. So the first few dates I had when I had the motorcycle, I picked them up in my sedan.
You what?
I picked them up in my family car. I pull up in this silver Kia.
Minivan.
It's looks like a Lincoln, but it's a Kia version. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, hi. It's good to meet you officially. Where's your motorcycle?" I was like, "What motorcycle? I don't have a motorcycle."
Catfish.
They're like, yeah. They're like, oh, okay. I was kind of hoping you went. Oh, you want to screw my bike? That's what this is about. I said, I'll be honest with you. With the angle that you took your photos, I couldn't tell if you would be able to fit. Hey, do me a favor. Less filters, more straight on next time. All right. Oh, God, don't smile. No, don't smile. Now it makes sense why your mouth was closed in all the pictures. Okay. I gotcha. That's a train wreck. This? Whew. So I was going to take you to a bookstore. You ever been to a bookstore? What's a bookstore? I'm not kidding. I literally transitioned this date. And I said, so when does your ex get out of prison?
That's where I went next. And she's like, "Oh, in like 3 weeks." I was like, "I fucking knew it. I knew it. Let me guess. You're over him, but he's not over you, and you're probably gonna have to call the cops and stuff like that. You already have a restraining order, but he doesn't respect it because of prison." She's like, "How did you know? Did we talk about that?" I'm like, "No. There's certain stereotypes that are just happen to be true. Most of them are."
So if we could just have sex really quick right now, and I'll tell you, I'll call you, but I won't.
She's so, "Where's your motorcycle?" I was like, "This is Barnes and Noble." She's like, "Oh, I've never been in one of these before." I'm not kidding. I'm like, "A Barnes and Noble?" And she's like, "No, a bookstore." Ever. I was like, "Man, whoo, I don't know how we got matched up, but apparently motorcycle."
Oh, too funny.
That was all it took. That's all it took. That's what happens when people swipe me.
Before I forget, because
Yeah.
this truly is really going in my head. I heard something outstanding the other
The
day.
seltzer's killing me.
Let me just tell, I'm a little bloated right now, and the bubbles, Oh my god! I heard something outstanding the other day. Somebody said
Sorry.
they were watching cars. Was it comedians in cars getting coffee?
Coffee, yeah.
And it was Shandling with Seinfeld, and they were at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
And Shandling turns to Seinfeld, and they're looking at their pictures, and he goes, a guy from Scottsdale or Mesa or whatever. He's actually from Shandling was from Arizona." And Seinfeld turns to him and he goes, "Why don't people say that? You got to be from somewhere. Doesn't fucking matter where you're from. It absolutely doesn't." So I take that as and these guys that were talking about it. And I wish I could remember what I was watching when they were talking about that, but it was super profound. And it's not only what city you're from, but your background you're from, wherever you're from. The only limitations that you have because of where you're from is the ones that you put on yourself. And it was such a great and that's what Seinfeld meant. I mean, he's a pretty smart dude.
Yeah.
But just saying, why do people say that's where they're from? Or I did good considering where I came from. Who the fuck cares where you came from?
Right.
Right. It's the decisions you
Transplanted
make.
devil. Transplanted devil.
That's right. Who the
Doesn't
fuck
matter.
cares where you're from? It's the decisions you make now, wherever you are at, is what dictates what the rest of your life's going to be.
Right.
And that was, I thought that was really poetic and profound.
I like it.
Just
Why do you think people glom onto that as so strongly as the piece of their identity that they're going to use as an excuse?
I mean, that's what it is. It's your built-in excuse. It's your crutch. You know what I mean? But it's actually more like it's the weight in your backpack that's holding you back. It's something you think that you're born with, or
Right.
I just thought that was pretty funny. It's true.
I
Who
like
the
it.
fuck cares where you're from? Don't
It's
fucking
like,
matter.
people I grew up with, will make fun of the fact that we're from Santee, California, Santucky, Clan T. Like, let's make it into this racist epicenter for hillbillies, and it's not. That's the
Right.
goofy part. Lakeside, right next door, where they got the rodeo and the meth houses. Okay, yeah, probably El Cajon, one of the biggest meth distributing cities, in East County, next to like San Bernardino and Victorville. Sandy, I don't know why we all allowed people to tag this negativity onto that city. It's not
Right.
even a big city. It's 60,000 people East County, and it's you know lower middle class and middle class for the most part. Not even a lot of apartments there. It's just kind of like a working class place, and it's just got this brand, Santucky, Clan T. Like, well, why do we walk around and we repeat it like I just did? We
Right.
repeat it like it's some sort of a shame, or like we're somehow ass backwards people or something.
Like the dirty tea. Right.
What was the dirty tea?
Tucson. It's the dirty
Oh,
tea.
I don't recall hearing Dirty T before.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've heard that a couple times. Oh, I just saw the chat. 69 Vixen 6969. Hi guys.
That's Amber.
Hello, Amber.
Hello,
Good
Amber.
evening.
What's going on? What's going on, Amber?
So, but
What
I
are you
just thought
doing
that
up so
was
late, young lady?
yeah. Don't you have middle school tomorrow? What's wrong with
Don't you have someone to do and someone to blow?
you? Hello.
Wait, this is the person I went to elementary school with, not some kid, right?
At the end of the
I'm
day,
in
does it
elementary school
matter?
now.
Does it matter? Does it matter?
Doesn't really matter. It
No,
doesn't
just
matter.
say you're a Democrat. It'll be fine.
Heyo! Somebody just
Hey,
got shat upon.
did you
There's no
see?
such thing as a double standard when there's only one.
It's true.
You're either
Did
with
you
us or we want you dead.
see that Cuomo got suspended from CNN?
I saw like a news break flash on my phone when I was driving home, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I didn't get a chance to dig in. What happened with Dickhead Cuomo?
Well, it basically came out that he was part of the 5 people that he was, his brother was trying to plan his defense with. And this is a fucking newscaster. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wait. So what happened? I know that his brother sexual harassment claims, etc. Right?
Correct.
So he gets pushed out. His lieutenant governor steps in, and she's a fucking psycho nutbag. They should have just had a fucking little runoff. But I guess that's what the vice assholes for. Um, Bad news. No wonder he got the ticket because they were like, "Oh, her?
She's
Who
a
the
fucking wackadoodle, dude. A
her and Kamala Harris, 2024. Woo!
You ever see people fail up? Have you ever seen anybody fail up like these people?
It's amazing.
It's mind boggling.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You got 0%
Yeah,
in the primary.
yeah.
You should be vice president.
You were such a humiliating piece of shit that the janitor who didn't speak English kicked your ass in the debates. That's how dumb you are.
Fucking insane.
Hey, okay, I'm gonna go now. Well, I guess that didn't work out. I'm gonna go enslave a bunch more people in prison.
Yeah,
Yay!
for smoking
basketball.
weed, even though I smoke weed. Right.
Right,
That's what she
right.
did. Yeah. Tulsi Gabbard destroyed her. But
I'm
I
gonna
do
go
have
hit
to
some
say
Steve Harvey, if you know what I mean. Steve Harvey.
that was Steve Harvey's side piece.
Oh yeah. He's like, listen, baby, I can make anything happen. And she's like, oh, I know you can, Steve. And he's like, no, I mean it. Barack, hey, what's up, Steve? Oh, someone got in. Yeah, incredible. Fucking fail up. That's 100% right.
Yeah.
It's my better half says that all the time. Fucking failing up.
It is.
She
It
says like
is.
working for a union and then getting into management.
Right.
Failing up.
Failing up. Yeah. But we have to talk about Tulsi Gabbard a little bit. I don't know what it is, but she's starting to get a very lesbian vibe on her videos.
Well, she's always had she's had the deep voice, which turns me on. I like.
And she's an athlete. Like she surfs and she's in the army and stuff like that. But
Right.
she's starting to get every time she comes on the screen. I don't know if it's clothes she's wearing. I don't know if it's her delivery. But come on,
Really,
Tulsi.
I should find a clip.
Yeah,
Is
well,
she-
I follow her on Facebook
Right.
because I like her. I think she's really smart, and
Yeah.
I agree with a lot of the things that she's more libertarian than she is Democrat for
Oh,
sure.
for sure,
So
for sure.
yeah, and
So now see what is she doing? Like she like grabbing her junk, or like she's like, hey, who's Tulsi? What's up?
that's kind of it.
You're like, oh shit.
It's like
Like,
I was just pissing at the urinal, and
yeah,
I
so
decided to make this video.
right. So I was just shaking my dick, and I was like, you know what? You don't have to wash your hands. You just learn how to not pee on my dick or pee on my hands. You know.
What is seeing Jeff Saturday? Jeff Saturday, wasn't he a?
Seeing Jeff Saturday. Seeing Jeff. Oh, you and Jeffy Jeff. Cool. Right on. That's good. Jeff quit for Tony Gershwin.
He
Or say
what?
Amber. Amber, you know Geoff. Have you
Yes.
seen the other shows?
Sure.
Okay. Jeff, Coy, and Daniel and I do the Atomic Dork Squad.
But I know who
Sundays.
Jeff Coy is. Yeah.
Yes. And then Amber, 6'9", Vixen, 6'9", 6'9". I think she's been chasing down Mr. Jeff a little bit. It looks like they're going to have a date. Or at least 3 minutes in heaven.
You're giving Jeff a lot of
What?
credit. 3 minutes.
I don't know.
He looks like a 15-second to 20-second max. Oh, maybe the second time. Maybe the second time.
You'll run it a second time.
Well, you beat it off first, and then you
Yeah,
probably can make that. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Like a ninja. I just want to be like a ninja. In and
Go
out.
in, come out. You'll never know I'm there.
Yeah. Wait, you guys were on the show together, right? Was that you guys?
Yeah. Yeah. He
You
fell
right.
asleep.
Yes, that was it. That was a good one. Yeah, that was when he like straight.
He started snoring. That was fucking outstanding.
That was great. It happened again that week too. Matt fell asleep in the middle of the fucking Saturday show for like an hour. We thought he was dead. Someone was like, Mark, you're closest. You're in San Antonio and he's in New Braunfels. Someone drive over and poke Matt. I'm like, he's fine.
He's fine.
I know what dead weight looks like. He'd fall out of his chair. He's fine.
He's good. He's good.
Like
see
people are dying on my show, and then he wakes up and then he comes after me. He's like, that wouldn't have happened, but your show is so fucking boring.
Wow.
I was like, wow. But
That's
you're on.
aggressive. That's aggressive.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
But you're
Maybe
on
if you would have added something to the show, you would have fucking stayed awake.
Maybe if you were participating a little bit, my friend.
A little a back and forth, a little give and take.
Just give a little something. A little something.
Just a little something.
Nah, he's a good guy. He was just fucking with me. He's probably right. I mean, we were probably 7 hours into what should have been a 2-hour show.
I don't want to do anything good that for 7 hours. Even if it feels good, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, even if there's eating and
No,
beans.
7 hours? Fuck no.
That's a long time.
Maybe drink. I would drink for 7 hours. But
I think I took like a half hour off to
nap
something like that.
off camera.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys do it.
You're
Well, this last weekend, I was indisposed and I had things. I had things and I wasn't available, and I was actually even out of state. And then somebody, Mark said, "Hey, I kind of wanted to do it. Can we just do it?" Actually, I think it was Geoff. Geoff said, "Oh, I kind of just want to do the show." Mark's like, "No, it's cool. Like Jeff's out. I got stuff to do. I'm out." And then Jeff's like, "Well, I'll do it if someone does it with me." So I was like, okay, fine. So I'm like, let me see if I can get you remote access to my computer, and then you can pipe in and control it from the studio. And so I sent it to him. I just like, log in, password, click here, password. Then he was like, I can't do this. Mark, will you do it?
Poor Mark.
I'm like, you just hooked everybody in. Like, what are you doing, man? You're the one who's like, come on, I'll do it. Someone come with me. I was like, all right, here you go. He's like, no. I'm like, it's going to mess up your MO of sitting there and having drinks and making comments. You're going to have to work. Come on.
And sleeping.
And sleeping, yeah, sleeping.
And he was ass out for a while on that show, too.
Geoff, I know you're probably going to watch this at some point. I love you, man. I'm fucking with you, but I did make fun of you, just so you know. I'm making fun of you.
Dude,
I'll do it. I don't really want. No, my computer can't handle it. Come on. So it dawned on me later. Mark's like, "What's?" Mark did really good on the Sunday show too. Mark took over and did Atomic Dork Squad because I was not available. I got a guest on my own shows, which was fun. I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun.
So he was the Joan Rivers?
Yes, he's my Joan. So he stepped up Saturday, stepped up Sunday, and then I realized this is a web-based studio. I mean, I'm not my home. My home is my home, but I was like, everything's set up. It's in the cloud. Why am I trying to get them remote access to my computer?
Right.
I mean, I do have, there are other things that I use on the shows, but I'm like, they don't need all that shit. Like, we can figure it out.
Right.
So I'm like, here's my login and password to the studio. See how it works. Yeah, sure enough. He's like, full control, just like that.
You really never heard of the dirty tea before, huh?
No. Mm-mm.
Huh.
No. Dirty tea bag. But not for Tucson. That's just what
Yeah, the
that's what
dirty
they call
tea.
me when I put my balls in their mouth. That's called a tea bag. Like you straddle like this, and you're like,
Are you wearing the towel at the time, or
no, like now, just balls out.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you guys want to see?
well, you've got to be careful not to sit on those. Your age.
Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of heavy anyway.
Well, I was going to
So
say,
I'm
well,
just saying,
catch one in the back of your knee or something.
there's
That
a
would
good
suck.
chance, depending on how the commode is set up, and you'll be like, "Whoo, it's cold." And deep.
Oh Lord.
Stupid.
So Australia.
Tulsi, let's find the Tulsi clip. I want to find
Oh
Tulsi.
yeah,
I got her.
on the Tulsi clip.
Let me see her being manly.
You see the one that cracked the joke on Omar. She's the chick that owns the bar with her husband, smoking. The one that wears the gun on her hip. Oh, she's hot.
She does Facebook and Instagram.
Who does, Tulsi?
Yeah, are these the ones that I should be looking for? Video clips?
Yeah, Facebook. It would be Facebook.
Tulsi Gabbard, stop trying to divide us. 3 weeks ago,
No, this was
Hawaii rep pushes back. What's up? Hope so. No. Tulsi, I'd switch for her. Yes, mommy. Yes, mommy. That's not even a thing for me, and that's fine. That's okay. She's got power, authority.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have shit anymore. She has a
No.
podcast.
She has a bigger audience than I do, therefore.
Oh, gotcha.
There you go. That's it. That's all it takes.
Fair enough.
If I let Mark keep playing with my stuff, he's going to try and take it away from me. So I got to be careful of that too.
Oh, that's fair.
My mother was like, "Hey," my mom. I'm finding the video, by the way. My mother was like, she goes, "I like it most when it's just you, son. No offense to your friends, but when it's all your friends, I don't listen for very long." She actually likes you, John. She actually said specifically, she's I think we're the least obnoxious when we're together. But my mom's like, she goes, "I'm just kind of partial because I'm your mom. But if it's just you talking for like an hour or 2 hours, like I listen, Randy listens, friends listen. Like she's like, people like to hear just." I said, "It's called the noise, Mom. It's just a bunch of noise coming out of my head."
I was thinking,
Mom,
didn't it hurt enough with the size of his fucking head coming out of you? Really, you got to give him a bigger fucking head. Really, really.
I was only 4 pounds.
Yeah, but it was all fucking head, and I mean the one above your shoulders.
Tulsi, here we go. Tulsi Gabbard for president 2024. Should we join the group or should we? Here's her on the news. She's a good-looking woman. She really is. She's sharp.
Not liking that
Tulsi
silver.
Gabbard's hypocrisy on the justice system. Oh, here she is. All right, she's gonna make noise. Let's share this one. You can tell. Now she's not outdoors. I think it's
Yeah.
She's it's probably her living room. Like Tulsi, Facebook. Yeah.
Can I afford this, but I can't buy both? And it's just such a terrible thing when our families across the country are faced with, listen.
Are you supposed to be showing the video?
Oh, I turned off automatic sharing for it to pop up. That's what she said.
Actually, that
listen to the American people. Listen to the American people. People, whether they're Democrats, Republicans, Independents, regardless of party affiliation. People are struggling. People are frustrated with the fact that their government that is supposed to be serving them is ignoring their interests. When you look at the impact of inflation, this is affecting families all across the country. Now you're wondering, okay, well, can I afford this or that? But I can't buy both. And it's just such a terrible thing when our...
All right. Is this an example of her being more? No. Okay.
Families across the country are faced with this.
Yeah,
and when they look...
that's with a green screen behind her. It's one that, like, she's given an update, like, in her house. And
Ooh, what room?
like the living room, kind of. But
All really good.
oh, see, she looked awesome there. I think she looked really good there.
that is disproportionately negatively impacting Black and brown people all across the country today. Senator Harris said she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Owned.
Oh, destroy. Yeah, but what did that get her? That got her a vice presidency.
What got her the vice presidency was Joe Biden saying, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, Jack. And then Charlemagne the God, who's got huge national black audience, going, I think Joe might have just lost the black vote. And then the Democratic Party saying, what is it going to take, Charlemagne? What is it going to take? And he's like, I think a person of color. VP, that's the minimum. Maybe
I just sent you the video through Messenger of what I was talking about. So I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh.
That's not. What did she do?
What do you mean?
She's looking like AOC in this picture.
Yeah, not good look.
What did you do?
That's when I saw that, I was like, oh.
I mean, being pretty isn't a job, but
no.
I feel like
it is. It's part of it. It's part of it, though. It's part of it.
All right, let me pull this one up.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, God.
Can I have this? There's no link. All right, here we go. Here we go, kids. Tulsi Gabbard, Haggard, aka Reich.
Let's be honest.
She's from Lebanon. She's Lebanese. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Yep. Where's Messenger? Not get an entire screen. Okay. We might get a little echo, so I'll disconnect right after I can figure out which screen. Here we go. It's loading. I think Mark messed with my controls. I'm going to have to fire him. He's not getting a paycheck this month.
So the jury in the Arbery case got the verdict right today, just like the jury got the verdict right in the Rittenhouse case. These jurors are our peers. They're our fellow Americans. And these verdicts show in
Baby, come back.
both these cases how these jurors had the intelligence and the honesty to make the right decision based on examining evidence and facts, not based on race or politics. So these examples directly undermine the woke narrative that Americans are stupid and racist. Because if America was a racist country, like some people say that it is, Arbery's killers would not have been found guilty by a nearly all-white jury in Georgia.
Now, most Americans, people of all races, truly believe in and are inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King's adage that we are all God's children. And as such, we should judge each other based on the content of our character, not the color of our skin.
I'm so glad. So glad that I shut the camera off before I stood up. Because what do they call your midsection fat? My
Your
man
gut?
muscle.
Your gut. Ooh, what are you drinking?
Seltzer water.
Oh, so you're about as big a pansy as I am.
Yeah. When I became sober, which is not a lifestyle, it's just choice. I don't go to meetings. I quit. That's stupid. I noticed that for the first month or so that I was not imbibing when I got home, that I missed the pressure in my belly from bubbles. So I went and bought seltzer.
All right.
And I found that it satisfied that, like, oh, look, I'm going, I have a habit, I have a ritual, I'm doing something, I'm pouring something, I'm drinking something.
No,
And
that's fair.
it's
I
crazy,
can
like
like
how much of the physicality of something matters.
Absolutely.
Like, it helped
Absolutely.
me. And then now it's just like, it's like a treat. It's not really, it's just carbonated water, but it feels like it a little bit. So let me get you off, and then you're going to talk about Australia. I'm going to multitask. I'm going to simultaneously take this phone call on mute while I listen to you, and we'll talk about Australia.
Okay. All right.
Tell me what's going on there.
Okay. Well, it's going to be broad strokes, and then we'll get into details more when you're communicating. So Australia has been locked down now, probably for I want to say at least 16 months, maybe even 2 years. It is so bad there that you're only allotted a certain amount of time outside your house. Actually, that is also, I think, gone now. I think the only reason you're allowed to leave is for medical emergencies. And there are people getting arrested for walking their dogs. I mean, it's bad. At one point, you were allowed, get this, kids, 1 hour a day of outside time. What does that fucking sound like? I don't know. Prison? Uh, but so major topics. One, they're locked down. They have no fucking rights whatsoever right now.
Who took their
Two,
guns? Who voted to make their guns go away? Was it them?
I didn't hear you, but I think you were going to say because they took their guns away.
Yeah, I was going to say, can you hear me now?
Yeah. So the second
Who
topic
took
is
their guns away?
all this is happening is because none of them have guns. I mean, most of them don't even have any kind of hunting rifle. So how are you going to stand up against a tyrannical government? I don't know. The third thing, which I think is a trip and a half, is that they have the new variant there in Australia, and yet they have the strictest lockdown. When you come there, you're constantly tested. You're quarantined for, I believe, it's up to 2 weeks. It's like 7 to 10 days, or even longer than that. So how the fuck did the new variant get there? It's just it is. I saw on the news the other day. Any person that had a question about the Second Amendment after seeing what's going on in Australia is like, yeah, I don't want to fucking hear about it anymore. Don't talk about the guns anymore. We're fucking done. Yeah, I'm just gonna go get more guns and more ammo. Because look what the fuck is happening to, and Australia really would be the closest country to us. They really would be, that the way that they're run, the way the people are. Maybe Canada, but Canada's gone fucking. They also have no guns, kids. But but yeah, so it's really scary to see what's happening in a place like Australia, which we would consider, if not our equal, pretty much our peer, I guess, in the world, as so to speak. It's scary. It's super scary, you know. But those are the three major things: just the insanity of the lockdowns, the fact that they don't have guns, so this shit can happen. And where did the variant come from? How come the variant's there? Oh, and by the way, side note on the variant.
Yeah.
Apparently, your things that they put in your arm, the shots there,
Yeah.
uh, no result against the new variant, none whatsoever.
Hey. And,
It's scary, but this is a good sign, though. It actually is a good sign because as the variants go on, it's easier to catch them, but they're less deadly. So they're getting weaker. They're changing. There's a change in the protein um, completely on this one. This one is like night and day. But it's just I look at a country like Australia, and I always thought, because I always loved the Australians because wherever we are, I mean, there's a couple of comedians that'll tell jokes like this where we're in a fucking war with whoever. The only people we can ever count on are the goddamn Aussies. They show up and there's 12 of them, but fuck, they always show up and help us out. Like they're our guys. But to see what's going on in that country, that's fucking scary. And you can't get out, too. That's the other thing. You can't fucking leave either. That's
right.
scary. So, but like you said, the biggest thing is the guns. They have no guns. So
They gave them up.
Yep.
They voted to give up their own rights because why? What does it take for socialism to take over? What does it take for authoritarian governments to take over? It's usually not civil unrest that encourages the people to go ahead and give it up on their own. It's the make believe paradise on earth. It's the look guys, look
Right.
how much better we are. Look, we're doing it right.
Make-believe narrative.
You're
Absolutely.
doing it right. Look at you. You're all white and tan.
Yep.
You're Caucasian. A lot of Caucasian people with tan, blue eyes. You're all pretty. Everyone likes you. Everyone likes your accents. You're special.
Right.
You're smart. Like this is paradise. Like we're doing it right, guys. And they're like, yeah, we're doing it right. That's right. We are. Look, we're even the U.S. They respect us, like because we're great, and they're like, we are great.
Right.
You know what we don't need? We don't need these guns. We don't need to be like America.
So
That's a failed experiment.
that brings the crazy conspiracy theory, right? So that was the long con, right?
Yeah.
They played the
Mhm.
long con all the way. And I don't remember when it was. I think it was either 93 or 89 when they gave up their guns. It's been a while. I don't know when it was they voted to do that, but
Jamie,
so-
look this up. Google.
Very good, very good.
You think I'd get a volunteer, somebody to be my Jamie, but all my kids lied to me. Well, two of them. Two of them act like they wanted to be. When
Oh, you're looking? Okay. I was going to do it too, but if you're going to do it.
suddenly I forget how to Google something because I make a joke about Jamie, and I'm like, I can do that job. I can pick keywords and go fast, and suddenly I'm spelling out a complete sentence. And what year approximately did Australia, otherwise known as Down Under, give up their guns? Geoff, you're a dork. It was April 15th, 2021. No,
Oh,
that's
no.
when they wrote this article.
You're a dick.
Jamie
I'm like,
sucks.
what? When was
Effects of the 1996 National Firearms Agreement in Australia, 96.
it? 96.
So there's that long con you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. So, I mean, why else would they have done it, right? I mean, it wasn't like their murder numbers were insane or anything like that, right? I mean, it was fucking scary, dude.
All of their violent crime stats went up though. Murder
Afterwards?
went up.
Oh, yeah.
Suicide stayed at least the same. Like all the things that they say they're going to protect against either got worse or
Right.
stayed the same.
Well, and the key with that too, right? Like here in the U.S., all the liberal cities that have the fucking tightest gun laws, the tightest gun laws.
Right.
Detroit. I don't really have to say anything else besides
No,
Detroit, but
I
I'll
wouldn't.
throw Chicago in there.
It's a shit show.
They have the only people that have guns are the bad guys.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they have shootouts on the street, and then they let them go. They're like, guys, this falls under Rochambeau. You know, like when you kick each other in
dude,
the
when I
nuts.
heard that, oh, that was
You're like,
insane. It was
what?
mutual combat.
Mutual combat.
Yes, it was
Yeah, this is like
mutual.
MMA except with machine guns, and 4 people were dead right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
mutual
fucking
combat.
nuts.
So who's in charge that they're not going to bother prosecuting people who are on tape, recorded, murdering people?
Well, probably
Right.
because they're one of those states that require that permission to record, even if it's a crime.
No, they can't be a two-party state.
Scary.
Really?
I don't know if they are or not.
I don't. For that reason, you can have closed circuit TVs. Or closed circuit cameras as long as you, announce it. I think. But
Right.
I'm curious. I'm just like, what's the base of the corruption there? Like, why?
Votes. I
Is it
guess
Rahm
votes.
Emanuel?
Well, I mean, it's genocide. I
You're
think
getting
honestly.
votes from the gangs. They're like, yeah, guys,
Well,
let's
what I'm
go.
saying. Well, so what it looks on the outside, it looks like they're trying to get votes, but I think on the inside, it's genocide, dude. They know exactly who's going to kill each other for the most part, right? And they're just taking care of it. It's just
They're like
another.
drain. They're basically you're positing that they're allowing the swamp to be drained.
Correct.
Like,
What
look,
they consider the swamp, right?
most
Well,
most of the decent people have gotten out of the way. Just let them take each other out
correct.
at
But I mean, it's
how many
just
people a
like
day.
I love the argument for Planned Parenthood, and the reason why Planned Parenthood exists was to make sure that minorities never gained a foothold in population. That's
Right,
the whole reason it was created.
right.
But
Yeah,
then you have these groups fighting for it, and it's the most insane thing ever. It's like, don't you understand? The whole reason it exists. Look it up. It's not like
oh
a,
yeah,
a big secret.
I know.
Yeah,
Margaret Sanger, she was not a saint.
no, no.
Um,
I mean,
uh,
she was caught multiple times saying that exact thing that I just said was so that minorities would not gain a foothold. And so don't tell me Black Lives Matter. I can't. Candace Owens says it best: 1 million babies a year, a
right,
million. You're only 12% of the population.
right,
So you're taking 1 million of yourselves out. You're never going to, you're one of the one of the few statistics that are actually going down on the percentage
right.
of in the population. It's insane. It's
That
absolutely insane.
it's interesting. Last Wednesday's show, Jeff and I went on, and it was basically me when I get angry and I rant about everything. I was like 3 hours of me, and then him going, "Oh shit, yeah, keep going." I brought that up too. I brought up the obvious history of the Democrat Party, and in 1860, when we had the first Republican come in through the Civil War, through every time something happened that tried to take away their power, and their power and control is over groups of people. They've been slave owners, and we freed their slaves, not the northern slaves that were left over. There was no more expansion, which is why they split, because they figured if there's no more expansion, then eventually their slaves will be taken.
Right.
Well, I mean, shit happened, like 30 years before in England, where the last holdout. So eventually, yeah, it's probably going to go away. But then you go from the Emancipation Proclamation to like 100 years later. The federal government has to pass laws against violating people's civil rights because it's still happening. And where was it happening? Where were Jim Crow laws?
Correct.
Who was perpetrating it? It was never the conservative Republicans. It was not. They were the ones who said, honor the laws of God and the laws of nature, because the laws of man are effed up. Like, They're bad guys. You can't read the Bible and say that this is a good idea. This is not a good idea.
The next shot was the welfare system. Was huge, huge.
So
Because
1967, the federal government has to go, okay, this is illegal. Leave them alone. And they're like, oh shit, what do we do now? We need to figure out another way to
Yep.
keep suppress. What the fuck is with Stockholm Syndrome? Like, it's fucking crazy.
I ask my buddy that all the time. That he's
Protected
Jewish.
people, not protected the way you think you need to be protected, but by
Right.
protecting you by getting them to leave you the fuck alone.
I say this to my buddy all the time who's Jewish. What the fuck is wrong with your people?
Right.
Why would you vote Democrat?
Why are you voting for the ones who
want to fucking eliminate you?
Right. It's
It
Stockholm
makes
Syndrome.
no sense. It is the dumbest fucking thing.
Fucking daddy
I
issues.
sit there and I go,
Crazy.
and he agrees with me. Him and his wife's a rabbi, and he's like, no, dude, you don't understand. They're psychotic Democrats. I said, do you mean like the squad who voted down the Iron? What the hell is it called in Israel? The Iron Curtain, not Iron Curtain. Fuck! It's their system that prevents the missiles from hitting. Iron Shield.
Iron Shield. Yeah.
Yeah, they voted against it. It's like, dude, they want your people to fucking die. And well, what a great stat. I love Candace Owens. I think Candace Owens is not only gorgeous, but she's fucking smart, and she's getting smarter, which is the thing that I love the most about her.
Oh yeah, I mean, she's surrounded by her, her what's the word, patrons, basically a lot of very experienced, good orators. They've got solid points of view. And she came out, she's very raw, but very passionate, and then unusual based on what people would expect to come out of her mouth.
Correct.
But then you surround yourself with people like Ben Shapiro. He's on your side. You got Charlie Kirk on your side. You got
Larry Elder. Right.
Yes, people who
No,
are
I
really,
mean, she has
really
become.
established point of view, and then she's growing up. Everyone forgets she's young. She's a kid.
Yeah. No, and
She's
done.
a kid, but she's
The great stat that she brought up was single parent families in the Black community after the welfare system was created. Before that was created, African American families had a higher percentage of two-parent homes than whites,
Yep.
than anybody else. But
Yep.
after that happened, after that was put in, it changed. She said something like, and I don't know if it's accurate, but 70%.
So think
Yeah.
about it. Turn of the century, right? So you got like Strom Thurmond, you've got Thurgood Marshall, you've got all these like Tuskegee guys who came out of the shit, and they're like, get educated. Like, just everyone go to college. Like, go to fucking college. Go to college, guys. And they're like, okay. And like W.E.B. Du Bois, all these strong people who became like Supreme Court justices, lawyers, authors. They were coming up in the ranks. So turn of the century through the 1920s, 30s, 40s, all the way up until right at the post-World War II, Black Americans, exactly as you said, had the higher amount of intact families.
Yep. Than white people.
Fathers in the household than whites.
It was
their earning potential was going exponentially, and it was
Correct.
lapsing white families.
And they couldn't have that.
It's because they were given the message.
The part that pisses me off, dude, is that's where the real racism is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking real racism, is your government stepping in to go, whoa. You guys are getting a little too equal. We need to curb this immediately. And that's the part I don't understand. Educated people just don't stop.
They're like, look, you're black, you're gay, you're this, you're that. Everyone hates you. I promise. Come with me.
Right.
Wait. This is coming from the people who You were the slave owners, then you were the oppressors. Like, each step along the way through this time period, if you couldn't keep your thumb on us and make us beholden to you, you don't have a platform. That's the fucking scary thing.
Right.
Why don't you have a power base that's strong enough? Why did it take the mob to get Kennedy in?
Right.
That should have just been half of America, right? No, you're shit out of luck. If you can't buy the votes, then you're going to have to scare the votes, and you have the party that owned you, and then continue to find a way to own you every step along the way, even though we've passed laws, we've enacted bills, we've done anything we could to keep you from being owned and beholden to anybody in the government. Anybody. You're your own person. Go do your thing. The government should not be involved with those decision making. They're like, you know what? Okay, civil rights. Now we have rights. Well, it wasn't that bad before. They're like, okay, how about this? Affirmative action. There you go. There's some institutionalized discrimination right there.
Right.
Look at that. On paper, that's the only piece of system-wide racism that exists.
Absolutely.
Is you are from this race, you're gonna get a leg up over other people, and you don't have the same qualifiers at all. Now, good luck. Everyone's gonna know it, but what is this gonna do? It's gonna create stories and narrative that when you, the unqualified, go into that college and take that spot from their friends and their, the fellow students, they're going to hate you, which is great because that's what we need. We need them to hate you.
Right.
Because hatred keeps you voting for us because you think
absolutely.
You like it's horrific.
It's a horrible, vicious cycle that I don't understand why educated people. If you want a real CRT is the things we've just talked about. Critical race theory is doing affirmative action. Critical race theory is creating the welfare system so that way your people don't get ahead. Critical race theory is creating Planned Parenthood to kill 1 million of your people every single year. That's critical race theory. That's honest critical race theory.
Yes. Once they got dads and grandpas out of the houses, which is the first thing they had to do. We need to create criminals. We need to
absolutely
right. Let's make criminals out of these guys. Absolutely. And once they're locked up, then we need to stop more black men from being born.
Correct.
Because you can't have anybody bubble up and take over.
Correct. I was listening to Crowder. I was listening to Crowder yesterday. It may have been today actually, where they have the comedian guy Dave, and he's very, very funny.
Dave.
He's funny as hell.
Dave Landau.
Yes. And they were talking about, affirmative action. He's like, are you kidding me? If I go to the hospital and my doctor's white, I'm like, could I wait until the Indian shows up, please? He's like, because if my doctor isn't going, thank you very much, I cannot understand what you're. He goes, I'm not interested. I'm good. Like, I'll wait. I know it's a gunshot wound, but I'd rather the Indian guy because he's smarter. He was like, hey, white doctor, are you part of some affirmative action that I'm not aware of or something? Because I don't want you to treat me. I want the Indian guy to treat me. That is, like, to me, that is so fucking funny.
It's absurdism, but it's real.
Right. But it is the opposite of racism, right? It is so, well, maybe it's racism against white people. It could be, I guess, but we don't seem to give a shit about that. I don't know, but it was just funny to listen to him talk, and I was laughing my ass off. I was thinking, so when I went for my stress test, when I had my my panic attack, and then I had my GERD attack, and at the same time, I have nerve damage in both shoulders. So across my left arm,
I had anxious, and then I was verklempt, and then I had the.
So I go into the stress. I did the stress test, and I'm running on the treadmill, and the doctor looks at me and he goes, "Mr. Trapp, your heart is perfectly fine. You have a very strong heart." For some reason, I believed him when he said that. It's like, he just said it. I'm good, because my doctor at the time, who was white, she was saying to me, you're fine. You don't have it in your family. You don't have a history of it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I want a fucking stress test. As soon as he said it, you're very good. Everything is very fine. Everything. I believed it. I was like, all right.
The white woman, you kicked her to the curb.
I'm like, listen.
What do you know, lady?
Yeah, you're from here. What's
I
wrong
want
with
a
you?
boo from
No squishies.
No Squishies for you.
No squishies.
Even when you're trying to stereotype certain people, and they're not stereotypes because they're true. They're just stereotypes.
And I don't think there's
always
anything
called that.
wrong with stereotypes too,
No.
by the way.
Oh,
It's
I know Middle Eastern people who own liquor stores and video stores. A lot of them. Do you know why they do? Because they have a network amongst themselves that when family needs a job, they go, hey, guess what? Let's go ahead and rent this place for you, and we'll give you everyone chip in your videos. All right, you want to open a cigar store next door to him? All right, guys,
Yep.
these guys got cigars. Like they do that. There's a
No, you're
supply chain
100%
that
correct.
exists
And they
amongst
work
cultures and races.
unbelievably hard.
Yep.
No vacations, no what they work really, really hard until they get to buy their second store. And then, I mean,
Now they got their second store. Now they're floating between, and they're driving a BMW.
correct.
I had a buddy who was
Yep.
Chaldean. Yeah, he was Chaldean, so he was a Catholic Iraqi guy. It was the same. Like he worked 18 hours a day in this one spot, and I became friends with him because I worked in the Pizza Hut in the same area, and then I remember when he expanded, he got his second place, and I was like, I went to work and helped him out at his second place on Saturdays just for fun,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's video, and it's up in Alpine, California. Video store, and then he opened an ice cream shop,
So
the
fucking
ice cream
expensive
pizza
to gas
shop,
there.
and then a cigar place next to that. He
Right.
like wound up. I'm like, dude, no. And then he's driving a BMW, and he's got a little side piece. He's got an apartment up there with some. I was like,
Now and
"Whee!"
then he gets a third store, and
Yep.
those guys don't stop.
They don't
And that's
stop.
great work ethic. It really is. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they also have an unbelievable family unit.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of us do not have nowadays. I
No.
just don't think we do.
What is it about the United States of America that has always supported the destruction of the nuclear family? It's not just blacks. It's not just anybody.
It's
It's everywhere.
everything. You're 100% correct.
Why does it benefit them for us to not have connections like people do who come from foreign countries who don't know? There is no government to give them a leg up.
Correct.
The government's power in those places is to kill you, oppress you, and take your
I
stuff
was just
away.
going to say it's all oppressive. Correct.
It's not
Which-
about taxes. It's not about the way that America has figured out how to do it is get them to make more taxpayers, the ones who are in the spot that they're going to contribute to the bottom line, and then keep them just far enough apart that they're
Correct.
never going to get strong enough to not need us.
Again, it's the long con, dude. It really is. It's the long con, and for these people, like you said, that come over and they have this strong family unit, they are What else are they? Whatever their religion is, whatever, but they're religious, and that's part of their lives, and
They're
that
in the
is
tribe.
something this country has beaten that out of everybody,
Right.
and who's been here generation after generation. It's you're 100% correct that our country is the land of opportunity for people from other places, but it sure makes people that have been here for the long haul feel like second class citizens because they've separated you from your family, they've separated you from their church, they've separated you from community.
They don't want tribalism. Tribalism has strength. Tribalism has power.
Correct.
Tribalism has authority. They can't have you have any of that. And the tribes, you know what they have? They have the shaman and the medicine man. And they're the ones who sit around at night around the campfire and they tell you the stories.
Correct.
When the bad things have happened. And then they tell you stories of the visions of what they see is going to happen if you don't honor the legacy of the tribe.
So
they exist for a reason.
I know I've been like segues are for kids this evening or mall cops, but we had talked about hallucinations, and I think I was under the wrong assumption of what a hallucination is.
Yeah.
Remember how I told you how I time travel when I'm high?
Yeah.
I was thinking hallucinations was your eyes are open and you see things, but I guess that's not what a hallucination is. It's that your mind sees them, and so
Oh, yeah,
I never realized that before.
yeah.
So
You weren't giving
abs-
yourself credit for the
no, like
for
I
the
was
work
just
that you
like,
were doing.
I was like, wait a minute. When you said that to me, it was like a fucking kick to the head, like, whoa. And then yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before, I did some THC
Hmm.
and maybe a little bit too much.
Little 11 hydroxy
So,
tetrahydrocannabinol.
so
What happened? Where'd you
it was
go?
no, just no. I don't freak out anymore.
I don't
Like the
mean that.
first,
When you close your eyes and you see things.
oh no, I'll see them when they're open too, but it's in my brain. It's always it just it is for me. It's like three movies are playing at once,
Hmm.
and I'm witnessing all three movies happen, and what the perceived ending for each movie, kind of like one of those pick your own adventure books,
Yeah, choose your own adventure, but you're watching all three outcomes happen.
right at the same
That's
time.
trippy.
And for me it's trippy. Like I love it. Like it opens to me, it kind of takes that brain fog that I've gotten from COVID, because I still have it, something awful. I
Yeah,
really do. um but it kind of it takes that away, and everything is really
it's
clear.
crazy.
But
I'm sharp as a tack. Can't
unbelievable,
can't
right? Well,
slow me
because
down.
number one, you feel like you got to maintain, right? I think
Yeah,
it's
I have
more
no idea. I might be dumb.
what.
I said I might be dumb compared to how I was. I have no idea.
Oh,
I'm bragging like I'm still super sharp from COVID, but I don't think
you
I
still
am.
use big words that sometimes have to stop you and go, "Hey, what does that mean?"
I like big words and I cannot lie.
I don't read. Like I don't
So
read.
if it's vocabulary that I learned when I was 12, like
Well, you're retaining though, so that's good. That's good. That's a good sign.
the savant isn't that broken. That's good.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring that. Like I said, I know I'm kind of all over the map here,
No,
but
it's fine.
that was
I'm tracking.
super interesting that you said that, because it opened, like I was like, what? I'm like, that's what they mean by hallucinations?
Hmm.
Then yes, I have been doing that for years. Like,
There's all these preconceived notions because it's what's delivered to you on the Saturday morning cartoons or
right,
the blood flows red on the highway, like whatever the programming is that is thrown out there.
right,
Like this equals awful, and awful must be a cartoon representation of a
right.
visualization. And it's
Reefer
scary, and there's demons,
madness.
and there's things flying at your face.
Right,
So that's like the easiest way to try and depict something, especially when your marketing and media group have never had that experience. They
right.
got to, but again, how would you make a visual representation? But I think you kind of explained it just now. It's pretty good. Of when you close your eyes
Right.
and your imagination is working way better than it ever has because now you're looking at parallel universes in your mind.
Yeah. And I
God
love
view.
that. I
How would
love
you
that.
put that on? How would you put that in a video so people can experience that?
What do you mean?
Like what you just explained. If you have
Oh,
three stories going down simultaneously and then three different paths and you're watching them all unfold.
and time goes so
So slow.
slow. I mean, super slow. And not that things sound slow, but
Right.
what happens
You're
is,
given a
and
representation.
you know I'm a crazy metal, love my music, and if I'm listening to a song on Pandora that I know by heart and whatever, and I'm like, holy shit, we haven't even got to the second verse yet. I'm like, oh my god, like what? I'm like, huh? Wait a minute, he hasn't even started singing yet. What the fuck? Like it just feels like it takes an eternity. Um, it's awesome. I love it. I love it because it makes me, I don't know, maybe the synapses in my brain are firing in a different way, I think. Um, but anyway, when you said that, it really fucking smacked me in the head. I was like, oh, that's what they mean by hallucinations. Oh shit. I was like, oh look, there's a pink elephant in the room. That's I'm like, I totally did not think of that when you but when you said it, I was like, Oh shit. Cool. Yes, then all the time. If I take a dose, like the correct dose, and for me, it's between it's like 10 milligrams is perfect for me. It is a happy time and no ridiculousness,
What
but
about
that's
1,000
perfect.
milligrams?
I'm sorry.
What about 11,000 milligrams?
No,
No, not 11,000.
no, thank you.
Does it seem like too much? Does it seem
Remember
like
how I
you
said I
freak
don't want to
out?
do anything for 7 hours that feels good? One
How about
dose,
how about let's see,
six
how long
days.
was that? About 52 hours of
Fuck
every time you close your eyes,
no.
everything is going ha. And when you open your eyes, it goes.
No, thank you. No
There's
interest
no
whatsoever.
place to hide. God, and I can't believe I ever did it after that, but I did. That's the genius of the human brain. Is
Well,
that
because do
you're
you
like,
think
that was
part of that?
awful.
Do you
We
think
can't
part
do
of
that.
that is well? Next time it'll be different.
Well, yeah,
You,
because we think we're in control of something.
correct.
Yeah, that
Correct.
was just bad because
Yeah,
I shouldn't have a 32-ounce tumbler of pure OG Kush THC
fuck
steeped
no.
with some sugar when you're thirsty, right? Yeah, but so if I don't do that again, what are the chances I'm going to boil a pound of weed and then drink it all?
And the
Like, that's not
funny thing is, I'll be
right.
next day, and if I eat something that I ate when I was high,
Mm-hmm.
I will all of a sudden get a little bit of high, and I'll be like, it's not muscle memory, but
Right, but
it's
yeah, it's a correlation memory. You're like,
absolutely and
it's like when you smell certain things and it reminds you of grandma or
correct,
Christmas.
correct. And I'll be
Yeah,
like,
and for some reason, you're like Twinkies and Pringles and the oatmeal cream pies, the little Debbie ones. You're like, I saw
like
it in the Matrix,
all
man.
of
I
a
saw it.
sudden it comes back.
Yeah,
Oh,
or
oh, you know
for
what I like? I like those
Taco
little.
Bell
I like zebra cakes.
zebra cakes. Yeah,
I like zebra
I
cakes.
remember those.
Oh, and then they made the Christmas tree. Little Debbie
Yeah,
makes a Christmas tree.
yeah.
Oh,
Dude, how about the Nutter Butters, the little wafer ones with the chocolate and peanut butter? Then
uh-huh.
when you're high, you're like peeling them apart. You like one of them you eat because you need it, and the other one you're breaking apart.
Yep. Oh,
Well, I was 21 years old. I believe from 20 to 21, um, I, uh, I took Adderall.
okay.
And back then we called it crystal meth, and we got it from bikers, and then we crushed it up and we snorted it. But let's just say Adderall. That's easy. You guys can understand Adderall, which is amphetamine salt combo. Um, so I took Adderall for a year. I was at my best weight. I was like 185 pounds. I wore shirts like this, and except it looked good. Uh, actually, if you watch the show, I pop up. I think it was my 21st birthday. I was on Adderall then. I remember. I remember crushing up that Adderall on the back of a toilet. No, I think it was off of a Hootie and the Blowfish CD. I'll be honest with you. Rolling up a bill because I'd been doing it for a year at that point, and sucking that shit back, and then going to mom's house for birthday lasagna with my girlfriend, Daniel, Bucky.
Lasagna.
Yeah, lasagna was good. And I looked
Let me
good.
get
I
this
was like,
straight, John. Let me get this straight, John. I just told you I was crushing Adderall, snorting it on a Hootie and the Blowfish, and the funny part to you was birthday lasagna.
yeah, birthday lasagna.
Birthday
Yeah,
lasagna.
I'm on the fucking train wreck.
My mom goes, "Why are you putting your hat on?" I go,
Oh,
"Because I
my
always wear the
mom
hat for the
after the
podcast."
show.
She goes, "Is your head cold?" Because I took the garbage out for her
Oh,
before I
your
came
mom's so
on.
cute. You got a head cold, sweetie?
You're right.
You want? I should make you some noodle soup. You're like, Mom, you sound like Jeff is right. I knew it. You sound like a yenta. What are you doing?
You want I should call your auntie and never bring over some penicillin?
Oh my god. Did
You
you
want
stop
I
for
should
lox and bagels? Because if you didn't stop for lox and bagels, I don't even know why the hell you
you
came.
got the schmelkas and the Mom, what? How long have you spoken Yiddish? I don't speak Yiddish. No, I don't know what you're talking about. You're such a goyim.
Goyo.
Oh, look at that Shonapunum.
Um. So, did you get my text about Thursday?
Your penis?
No, my text about Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, it says something like 4:30. There was something that I
Yeah,
should pay attention to.
yeah. You should, since you bailed on the concert that you said you were going to
Oh,
go
dude.
to.
I
I got
legit,
an
dude.
hour. I got an hour of sleep,
Oh,
and
shut your mouth. 90 minutes of sleep. But check this out. Then my son, who I hadn't seen for like 2.5 weeks, Dad, mom's not available. Can you help me out? With what? Well, my prescription expired like a month ago. Why don't you fucking drive? Well, the itchiness is getting really bad, and I got that condition. And it's not gonorrhea or nothing like that, but it's an autoimmune thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Do you understand that I stayed up late on a school night again? Got off at 1:30, all fucking jacked because I'm talking to John, and then my brain won't shut the fuck up. And then it's 3:45 in the fucking morning, and I'm like, this day is gonna suck. And then I black out for an hour, and then oh, here we go. All right, let's go do this. And now you. And he's like, sounds like a you problem, Dad. Make better choices. And I was like, I should have pulled out.
if your mom would have just swallowed, if she just
Jesus,
would
if
have
your mother,
swallowed.
God, she just loves the penis in her mouth a little bit more. God,
I would have gotten a full night's sleep.
that's a minimum requirement these days. I'm like, hey,
Um,
honey, I like you, but I'd like to go out with you more often. But remind me, you feeling obligated about the blowjob thing, or you really dig it the way you say you do? She's like, give
yeah,
me that cock. I'm like, cool, we're good. We're good. Not even that I want them that bad. I just want the option to not make babies occasionally.
right.
Because every time I make babies.
Well,
That's what it
that's
feels
why.
like. I think I've had sex like that many times. And then babies. And then suddenly driving to fucking Vail, Arizona. It's like 7:00. How is it 7:00? Did I get off at 5? Why is it 7? Traffic. It took me 2 hours because that's where I used to live, because I used to have money. I used to be middle class. I get home to the ghetto right quick, right next to Planned Parenthood.
Bringing
But
it back.
I
Bringing
used
it
to go
back.
back to my home base where all the engineers and middle class white folk, middle class black folk live. But middle class, they're middle class. That's where the other people go. They get in their cars, they drive over there to steal. So the petty larceny and the crime statistics are actually higher over that in that area because there's more money. There's more.
Correct.
I stopped locking my door on my truck when I moved to that area because I didn't want them to break it. Because at least once a week, people from over there, which is here where I live now, would drive over there to go check on glove boxes. At least once a week, I'd come out, glove box open, shit on the floor. I just put it back. It's all expired papers. I'm like, haha, suckers. I didn't lock my truck door for the next 5 years. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't make it to the concert. I'm
So,
driving back the other side. So now it's starting. I'm like, God, I'm a piece of shit. I'm so tired. I'm like blacking out. Like,
so
I wouldn't put on the cruise control for fear that I would die. At least if my foot was on there, if I felt.
I'm gonna make you feel a little bit better. You ready? A little bit better. So the band came on and basically said they were gonna play till 1:00 in the morning. They were gonna play. It's a free show.
Girl, we just did a bunch of Adderall crushed up on the back of a Hootie and the Blowfish album.
So they do the first set, and Nicole's already looking like she's ready to fall asleep. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's 9:00. Look at that good looking guy.
That good looking guy was on.
And so we get to the second set. We get to the second set, and she's like falling asleep. And they're playing all music we know. We know every word to every song.
Yeah.
And now my back's starting to hurt because of fucking not sleeping, not sleeping the night before, right? So I'm like,
John's back hurt. My back was.
I'm like, oh, dude, that's the part that kills me is my back. When I don't get like 6 or 5 or 6, my back is killing me.
Yeah,
so I look at her and I go, fuck, what are you, like 37, 35? She's like, well, yeah. I'm like, God damn, I guess I got to get younger friends. Come on, let's go. She's like, oh, we can go get coffee or something. Like, no, we're not getting coffee. She goes, oh, maybe we can go to the bar. I'm like, wait a minute. We were just at a bar listening to a band. I gave her so much shit. I was busting her balls so bad. So I was home by 10 o'clock.
You use her as an out. You're like, listen.
I was like, good.
You're such a disappointment, but you're so lucky that I care about our friendship.
Oh, God. I was so fucking tired. When I got there, I was like,
can you drive?
I was like, this is going to suck. Oh, God, this is going to suck. But anyway, Thursday night, we go to the bocce courts at Udall.
Bocce, that's that thing with the heavy balls.
The heavy balls.
Kind of like lawn bowling?
Yeah. Well, it's like Italian bowling. That's what it is. It's Italian bowling.
It's like shuffleboard, except they roll.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's racist because you got to get it closest to the white ball. So I figured it would be right up your fucking alley.
I'm there.
So I throw a couple of grills on the back of my pickup truck. I grill. I bring some leftover whatever. I know you can't eat pasta because gluten shit, right? But I usually cook a pasta dish. And we have a fire. And we play bocce. We listen to music. We chill. We have a couple of drinks. It's a good time. And
hold on. Let me tell you how I know you're a fucking middle-aged white dude.
What?
All right. So we went tailgating, right?
Okay.
You know? And
middle-aged
we play bocce, and we have pasta. You fucking dork.
Well, you know what?
Bocce, pasta.
I also do pork and beans. I do chili.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah. No,
go
come
ahead.
on. I set it
Let
all
that
up.
Wiener pop out a little bit. You seem like
it's the wiener with the cheeses in them too.
Those are like $3.89 for 8 of them. They're expensive.
They're yummy.
I love them. They're so good. I'll eat them cold. I like the cheese out of them. I do. They're so good. Sorry.
So,
it's not
anyway, so you should come hang out. You know,
bocce, tailgating, pasta, or wieners with cheese in them.
You don't have to have the pasta. I know you can't have the pasta.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. I don't even like eat around it. I just like.
You can eat the wieners, though. You can have wieners.
Wieners all day.
Yeah, all day, all night. That's what I heard.
Wait, which one is docking and which one is pegging? So, this one is which?
I think it's the same.
And this one is which?
Well,
I don't remember. Pegging goes like this, like this. Wait, hold on. That's pegging, right?
Okay. What's docking?
And then this is docking.
That would make no sense.
Docking is when two men's put their things together and then they pull.
I thought that was sword fighting.
No. Sword fighting is like that, and that's like when you're doing like a DP, and then pardon my dick. Excuse me, pardon my dick. You gotta be polite. Like if you're doing DP, if you're gonna spit roast somebody, that's better because you're on opposite ends. But
that's not
Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower. That's when you lean out and you balance on each other. The shocker, 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink.
Yeah, I knew the shocker.
And then you got the minivan.
What's the minivan?
2 in the front, 8 in the back. All right. This is where my mom jumps off. Whew. She's like, I love your show until you start talking about sex. I was like,
Who's mentally incorrect?
when did you become a prude? She's like, it's not that. I know that you do things. I know that you're a man and you have sex and stuff, but she doesn't talk like that. But this is me making fun of her when she acts like. I mean, if you look at the clips on the show from Sunday, which was her birthday, Saturday, I think, Sunday, Mark's popping up like jackrabbit dildos and paddles, and then I'm asking my mom about to review Two Girls, One Cup. It was my mom is hilarious, but she's like, I just when you start talking your thing, I'm just kind of like, well, I'm like, I said, Mom, I'm not talking specifically about things that I'm into. I'm just like taking it aside,
And we know John's not into it because he's vanilla.
Yeah, he's vanilla as fuck. Just like Amber, it's like 82% vanilla. Missy's a rope bunny. She needs to be tied up and whipped. Missy likes me because I'm the poster child for dominant. So
Keep
I'm
telling yourself that there, buddy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh, so scary, so scary.
I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just curious why you're saying that.
That's right. Nothing wrong with being vanilla.
Nothing wrong with being vanilla. And actually, if you look at my scores, I'm like 90-10. Like, pull my hair, that's fine. Bite my nipples, I love it. Like, you think the nipple clamps on this clock back here? You see them right there? They're hanging that on that chain. You think those are for somebody else? They were at first, and then I kept them. Just saying. Dad, why do you have nipple clamps on your clock? Why do you know that those are nipple clamps, by the way? I'm just curious. Y'all need to go to church more. Because I like them. They feel nice. You guys pinch your nipples really hard right now. Everyone go. Everyone, audience, go. We'll wait. Pinch them hard. Hold on tight. And then, like, if it hurts, go harder until it hurts a bit too much. And then just leave it there for an hour. See what happens. Now, touch yourself in the... I'm just kidding.
That's why we have two hands.
There you go. We have two hands for a reason. Because we're speaking with our mouth and we're listening with our ears and we're rubbing our genitals. Then go.
And don't forget the balls.
Nothing wrong with being vanilla or a rope bunny. That's true, ladies. That's true. So anyway, we were watching this Japanese milk enema race on Saturday because I became a guest on my own show from a foreign land where I was reporting from. So because I'm insane, there was a lull, which means 4 seconds with nobody talking. So I took over and I started to narrate a memory from 20 years before that I had from this thing that I saw, but nobody knew it. So I'm just like, 12 Japanese women line up in a gymnasium naked. All they have is a pillowcase and a gallon of milk hanging from an enema bag. They back up. No, I know. They fill up their bowels. And they're off, scooting with their hands on the towel across the maplewood floor, holding the milk in their rectums.
So when you're saying this, right, what's the reaction from the other people on the show?
Everyone's like, no one doesn't expect me to say stupid shit or wild shit, but I think they were just,
you took it to a whole nother level.
They were puzzled. I think the girls were like, well, there goes Geoff. And then Mark was just like, Mark was like, you're my hero, Ferris Bueller. He definitely had that moment, right?
He's Cameron in this?
Yeah, that's right. You're my hero, Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I had the Ferris moment, and I'm just going on, and I get to lap 2, how many people drop out. I just keep going with the story. They don't know that this is based on real anything. And then as Mark is like, holy shit, like leave it to you just to this what is going on? And then I morph into the jerk off scene in Mallrats as they're talking about the plane starts to drop and everybody's sure that they're gonna die. So they all just whip out their stuff and they start cranking and wanking and all this stuff, and everyone plummeting to their death, screaming.
Jason Lee tells us,
Yeah.
right? Is Jason okay?
Yeah, and and then the plane rights itself. So I just transitioned into that story because I know that Mark likes Mallrats, and I'm like, and then the plane rights itself, and everybody puts their clothes back on, puts their junk away, sits back down, buckles up, bing. Stewardess come out. And no one ever speaks a word of this ever again. Mark's just like, yes. So did they come or what? So then Mark is just like, you are insane. I fucking worship you.
So
and I was
that's
like,
why
well, here's the funny part,
that's
guys.
why you like Mark so much. Now I understand. Now, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I
Use
mean,
your Cameron. I get
if
you.
there was a little more hero worship on your part, that would be great because my children don't feel that way about me. So I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The fact that I probably been the biggest insult in your professional life. And you still care enough to hang out from time to time. I'm like, he likes me. We're friends. Like, that's friends right there.
I told somebody
I'm the
back from
biggest asshole in the
McDonald's.
world.
I told somebody I hadn't talked to him in a while, and I'm like, hey, get this. I do a podcast with Geoff sometime. Jeff Adams. it was priceless. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah.
Wasn't he the guy who
grown ass man?
Grown ass
And I'm
man?
like, yeah. And they go, okay. And that's it. It was great. No other part, nothing went anywhere else in the conversation. They were just like,
that's what's great about that moment is like we both had our own camps. It's not that we were anti each other. We were working in different spots. But we had our own camps and our own followers, so to speak, and like both sides heard about it. And then it became like legend. And then it became lore. They're like, is that really? And they'd be like, did it really happen? Like, I'm like, yeah. You said it like that. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yep, dick. In my head, it sounded more like funny. It sounded more like, like, sounded more like get your attention, and as a man, we're gonna work through this. But it was more like, fuck you, bitch. That's how it came out. That he wanted to fight me, and I was like, oh no.
Did you see Double D got engaged?
Who?
Double D.
Oh yeah. Where did he buy her?
Huh?
Where did he buy her?
I don't know. There are catalogs now, but I think everything's internet.
I signed up for some, and it's awkward. Yeah, because the doorbell rings and DHS just leaves some Russian at my front door, and I'm like, I have a girlfriend. She's like, oh, you do? I'm like, oh, get inside. That's fine.
So I don't think he wants to play with us anymore, huh?
No, he gave up after the first round.
It's like he didn't have any interest at all. I was like, oh.
He's like, I'm an introvert, and you guys are overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy, dude. It's like a lot of energy.
It's like this. It's literally like go on for 90 minutes and be like, oh, hold on. Hey, Dave, any thoughts?
Can somebody put a mirror under Dave's nose, please? Just to make sure. No,
Dave, how's your vagina? You feeling all right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure that didn't help either.
Dude, I was his boss too, man. So it's not like I didn't throw punches with anybody.
Right. You got to be in bed by 9:30. Oh, that's not going to work for us. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's sorry.
Price check on badge clear.
Oh my god! And introducing Summer's Eve. Oh, that was funny.
That was a funny interaction though. I think that our memory of each other had probably faded to the point where there was like this affection of the memories, and then Dave's like, "Yes, I love you, Geoff." I'm like, "I love you too, Dave." And you're like, "John," you're like, "Yeah, Geoff, I love you, man." And then and then I was just a ruthless asshole. Before we got on the air, I emasculated him and then continued to punch as we went. And you were just like, no, you're such, oh my God. Like you to crack up that hard means it's really mean. Everybody knows it. Like, that's next level awful. Geoff is such a cunt. And Dave's just like,
well, but what blows my mind, right, is this guy goes on stage and stuff like that. Like, well, I would think your skin would have to be unbelievably tough.
right.
I'm like, I would think, like, I sit there and go, oh my God, I don't think I could ever do that. I could, but but I'd be fucking terrified, like you said, until the mic's in your hand.
Right.
And then you just be you.
That's why I thought you and I for improv would be amazing, because we both riff based on whatever pops into our head, but not necessarily based on somebody else's direction.
Right, but too much inside jokes. We'd have way too many inside jokes. Things would be because we like so much of the same shit, especially when it comes to movies and stuff like that. Yeah. It would be so obscure, right? You're fucking singing.
I don't think it'd be that obscure. I mean, women are used to men always fucking quoting obscure shit anyways, and they just ignore it. But they like if you're being funny and cute and confident. I don't know. I think it would be okay. I think it would be fun. The mere fact that you and I laugh at our own shit and at each other's, the idea that people aren't tracking is more enjoyable to me.
Right. That's
because
fair.
I want someone to come across this channel like this. And then after that, you like that?
I did. I like that a lot.
I want them to be like kind of cruising by and they're like, hey, who are these? Who's that one like super buff dude in a tiny shirt? And the guy who needs more goatee. Nah, you're a good looking man. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean, I'm not.
It's hard enough being next to me in general. I get it.
Well, fuck.
Charming as fuck too. I'm really not attractive. I'm just charming, which works. It's fine. I mean, John, you've made a career out of it, so.
If I can fucking do it, anybody can.
Yeah. I was like, John, you're my hero. You know, why? I'm like, just average white guy, just fucking smash. Go, buddy, go. Go, buddy, go. Trap smash. Yeah, that's right. That's right, motherfuckers. You don't even know.
Oh, Christ.
My idol. Really? Yeah, he's a prick for no good reason. But people are like, that's John. He's a prick. And I'm like, you see how that works? He defined his own path.
I absolutely
love that. So many people have to work so hard for it.
Fuck, it came naturally. Absolutely.
Like, people are like, look, we need you to work with this group for 6 months. And I'm like, oh, you're going to fuck me, aren't you? I get how business works. 6 months. No, 3 months. 3 months. A year later. We need to work with this group for like 90 days because you're capable. I'm like, suck my ass. There's smoke. If I wanted to smoke up my ass, I would be at home with a short length of hose and a pack of fucking Camels. Just blow it up my ass.
Red. There's Marlboro Red. How are you? Come on.
If I'm gonna blow it up my ass, it might as well be stronger. It's Turkish
and mentholated, and it's got to be mentholated.
I do, yeah. But the crush, like if you decide too late that you want menthol, then yeah, it's a lot of effort. You got to be like, what are you doing? They're Camel Crushes.
I would watch people do that and I'd go, "The fuck are you doing to your cigarette? What are you doing? There's a little thing in there.
There's a bead in here. Say like a little anal bead.
Like, I don't think you're supposed to do that. Okay.
I think that's where asbestos comes from. Mesothelioma. You should not do that.
No.
I almost bought a pack of smokes on my way back from my trip because I was getting tired. I was blacking out. And I'd come to find out it was like the heaviest travel day of the year is a Sunday after Thanksgiving. I'm like, this is a great idea. Me and a billion other people who are fucking tired.
Right.
So I pulled over to get some gas. It was like $18 a gallon.
Fuck. That's because you stopped in Alpine.
And I'm like walking around. I'm like, looking in the store. Can I help you? I'm like, it's a pilot. It's a truck stop. Stop looking at me. I'm trying to score some Coke and a hooker.
Are the showers empty? Just let me know if the
Nah,
showers.
that's fine. I don't have a sense of smell, so it was no big deal. Usually it smells like sepsis in here, but it's fresh as far as I know.
Oh
How
shit!
did you get chlamydia on your face? I don't know.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm in the truck stop wandering around, and I'm like, what can wake me up, possibly? I'm sleepy. And I was like, anyone have any meth? No luck. Want to suck my dick? Not you. Never mind. I still got, I don't know how long to go. If this was a normal day, I'd say 5 hours, but I'm guessing 11.
Luck.
Yeah. 400 miles, it took me 11 hours, so that was good times.
Oh.
But anyway, yeah, left at 1:30, got home at 11:30. That's 10 hours, yeah. Brutal. So, whatever. I did podcasts for 2 hours of it from my phone. Mark and everybody hung up on me, and I was like, fuck y'all. I'm going to keep going. And I started a new one, and then I did an hour, and it's actually a really good story that I told. Unfortunately, from my phone in the middle of nowhere and a shitty pair of Skull Candy earbuds, it sounded like fucking garbage. So I was like, I need to transcribe it and redo it because it's actually really good.
Right.
And I'm not bragging, but I got more views on my hour of shitty audio than the prior team got with me as their guest. I'm just saying. But I think it was because people were like, there's something wrong with my phone. They probably like backed out because it's like, so anyways, Larry, suicide, Mighty 690. You just hear these kind of keywords and a lot of my voice over modulating everything. It's good to know you have that power, though. I do over modulate everything. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Missy, you remember this? Hey, baby. You did a good job. Oh, yeah. Daddy's happy. So I was giving people who want.
Oh my god.
I'm in the hotel room. I'm holding my phone up like this. I'm coming into it, so the video is changing as I'm coming into it. I'm like, all right, so in case you have some daddy fantasies, and I've had people tell me that they like my voice, like from work, who listen to my training videos at home while they masturbate and fall asleep. That's odd.
Which part? Falling asleep after masturbation?
No,
or-
that's normal. I have
Oh.
intimacy issues, so I get energy and I go clean shit. But that's just because
Yeah,
I don't want.
I'm the
I don't want
opposite
people to
now.
find out I'm weak.
The opposite now.
You just fall asleep.
No, I'm the opposite. Where I used to, when I was 18, I would fall asleep. Now,
Oh yeah, but it's because everything was safe and you had an idealized life in your head. And then what in reality? Tell me about that.
well, I always thought it would get bigger. It didn't. I was fucking devastated. I was like, wait a minute.
That fucks with you from like 9 to like 13. You're like, yeah, keep going. And you're like, that's it.
Go team, go.
Fuck.
I'm like,
It's
wait a minute.
Mom, is this supposed to stop?
It's never getting bigger than 7 inches. That really sucks.
I know, it's horrible. Like square cockage is not going to get above 40. I guess.
And I don't have a cheese wheel either, so that fucking sucks.
Oh, jeez.
Or a soup can.
I'm gonna smash the Cervex and bust out the sidewalls. I can't help it. I'm a man.
God damn it.
I thought it was teeny this whole time. That was ridiculous. Had I known, can you imagine if I had confidence around? I had no idea. I was like, yeah, it's average. Average. My girl's like, I've never had a convinced man that his wiener was bigger than he thought it was. Ever. I was like, wow, it's just average. No, not average. I said, no, average. She said, no. This is a sham.
Oh,
It's the small one.
I was
guys.
going to
It's the
say a
small
travel size. Settle down
It's
there, fucking
one. No,
homeboy.
it's She's like, you know what 6 inches around looks like? I'm like, I guess. Yeah, I measured it. It's average. She's like, no, it's not. That's like twice as much as average.
We
Oh,
weren't
cool,
talking.
I
We
guess.
weren't
I
talking
don't
circumference. We were supposed to be talking length. Is that why you won't take it in your ass anymore? Yeah.
It's just funny. She's like, I can't believe I've never in my life I've been like, no, it's bigger than you think. I'm like, no, it's not.
Average size is like 5.2 inches.
Yeah, exactly. I know. But I was like, oh, huh. Are you sure? It's like, can you imagine if you thought you had a big dick your whole life?
Oh.
I'm like, oh, I'd be a fucking nightmare.
Oh.
Nightmare. I got big dick energy like a motherfucker, and with like average dick, like I didn't put that on my dating profile. I'd be like motorcycle, football. I don't like football.
Big cock.
Average dick. No, I literally put average dick in my in my profile because I'm like, yeah, it's average, whatever. People are like, you're so funny. I'm like, yeah, well, I was just telling you the truth, minus the football part. I don't care about football. You're so funny that you put average dick. Average dick is
my lies. I draw the line at football. That's the only
I don't know football sucks, but I grew up with the Chargers. Disappointment. It's so refreshing. It was so refreshing to meet somebody who has a sense of humor and has whoa. No, I'm just kidding.
So would it be weird if I said to the ladies that are in the chat room, if they came up with a
Missy
topic,
and Amber,
that they could come up with a topic for us to talk about, kind of like our own little
Wheel of
what the hell were we talking about?
questions.
Doing on stage? Fuck.
Improv.
Thank you. Holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Improv. All right, ladies. Not sex because my mom says that I talk about sex too much with you guys, and I told her that's because Amber wants to bang Geoff, and Missy wants to bang Geoff and Mark, meaning Geoff and Mark. I said, so I can't help it. They used to be shy, and now they're whores. So mom, I have to talk whores to them. That's what I told her. She's like, oh, that makes sense. Whores.
Hey, whores need love too.
Dude, I love them. They're not.
Or towels. Sometimes they need towel, and you have a towel on, so that works out good.
No, I have this muscular.
I just like how you're going.
Fat suit on.
Come on, come up with a topic. Don't be wusses.
All right, ladies. Let's do this. I was never shy, just a bitch. That's true. Not just a bitch, Amber. The capital T. The
Alpha bitch.
Since the first grade. Like in 1981, no one knew what resting bitch face was, but you had it.
She should have copyrighted that shit.
I know. You were like, hi, this is called the Amber, but we're trying to come up with something different.
Resting bitch face.
Bitch, resting, yeah. But you look like
Greatest,
a chill.
hottest actress with resting bitch face. I think it's Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She likes anal. You know how I know that? All women do. All. It's fact. It feels good. Stretch your butthole. Feels good. Don't act like it doesn't feel good.
There's a lot of nerves in there. A lot of nerves.
They know that too because they're like, I don't think I would. I just saw maybe. Okay, well, do me. That's where that moment where you're like, oh, did we just crown? That just happened, huh? Oh, we just got past that.
Uncross your legs. Uncross your legs. Uncross your legs.
I own you. You're mine forever. Put my stamp on it. I've never done anal. I've never not done it.
You would figure you wouldn't have so many kids then. Come on.
Some of them might be lawyers.
Well, that was like a fart in church. Sorry, I thought maybe they'd come up with some.
They will. All right. Hey, listen. So we don't force you to come on the show with us because girls are not allowed.
Because girls aren't funny.
Man. What is it? The woman hating man. The Little Rascals. How they had
He-Man,
He-Man Woman
Women
Haters.
Haters Club.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So y'all allowed to come on Saturdays and act crazy and shit and mess up the dynamic. That's fine. But
Something.
all right, what is something you're obsessed with? Not sex, okay? And
You go first.
Missy's like, other than my vagina. That's I know I'm not funny. Good job, Amber. No, she's not funny. I'm so proud of you.
Fuck! Finally, a woman that admits it.
Man,
Jesus
that was
Christ.
funny actually.
Yes.
Knowing
Actually,
that
that was funny.
good.
That's good. Something you're obsessed
John, because
with.
of your asshole perspective, which I agree with, because I tell my better half that she's not funny all the time. I'm like, or I'll be like, I'll laugh, and it seems like it's genuine because it's involuntary. Or it seems involuntary, but it's not. It's just that I had to fart. And she'd be like, "Oh, see, you think I'm funny?" I'm like, "Oh, of course I do, sweetheart." For a girl, and since she works out a lot, and I don't. I can barely feel it when she hits me because I'm a man, so doesn't matter.
What do you mean you don't work out? Look at that shirt.
I know, right? That's the funny part. And I was like, she's like, "Do you work out?" I'm like, "Never, ever." I've actually had enough injury and illness in the last 9 months that I lost any muscle that I had before that. I'm literally just fat at this point. When I stand up, I shake. That's how no muscle I have.
It's not funny because I did that recently when I tore up my knee. I was holding still in a weird position, and I'm like, all of a sudden my fucking legs are shaking, and I'm like, holy
Oh
fuck.
no.
I'm like, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Hurry up and come.
Exactly. So she's like, I don't know, whatever. She got all like, well, I could take you. I'm like, you're like knee high to a Smurf. Like,
All I have to
seriously,
do is fall on you.
you're 5'2". I see all your muscles and definitions, but I'm a fucking monster. I'm a monster. I could roll you up and put you in my pocket and just take you with me wherever I go.
Ooh, in a backpack. Yeah, that's a good
Ooh,
idea.
yeah,
Backpack.
nice, right?
That's
And then
very
sometimes you just wear it around the front, and then yeah, there you go. Sometimes you flip it upside down.
especially on the back.
So I'm being this, I'm being my normal charming self. I'm like, you know what you're getting into. I've got hundreds of hours of me being a douche. You knew.
So,
And then
next-
she wants to get all feisty and shit, and I'm like, watch, bink, and I just push her over. I said, this is why trans women should not compete in sports, because my fat ass, I haven't done anything athletic in a decade, because those headshots I got on the motorcycle were just so I can not have to work to get laid.
stop
Can
smiling.
somebody hit the gears for me? My foot hurts.
Stop smiling.
And even then, like, look at you. Oh, look at your lats. Look at your muscles. Oh, you're so buff. That's true. You are. And I push her over. You're a girl. Go get me a drink of water. And then I fell asleep. Oh, don't fall asleep after you're being a dick.
No, don't do that.
Bad. Geoff only has one testicle left.
And I've never been pegged that hard in a long time.
What happened? Was that love? It felt like love, except it hurt.
No, because she didn't hold you after it was over either.
No.
She just spit on your back.
No. She held my hair.
She
Don't
spit
you
on
know,
your back.
bitch, fucking you call
This is
me
what it's
daddy.
for.
We'll call you
I'm
switch. You switch. You're my bitch. I was like, Mom, is that you?
gonna answer her question because I did ask and she did put a question up there. I'm obsessed with two things besides sex: Sasquatch and IPAs. Those are my two things that I'm obsessed with.
What's an IPA?
An IPA? Indian
IPA
Pale Ale?
is Sasquatch's cousin.
But I'm really into Sasquatch. Love Sasquatch. Everything about Sasquatch because isn't it more fun to think it could be than to just say it doesn't exist? So I'm big on that. I love that and craft beer. IPAs, not really craft beer, but IPAs. So what are you obsessed with?
Right now, my better half. I'm podcasting. I miss a random text that says, "I want to fuck you."
What's his name?
John Trapp.
Again?
Get that whore.
Fuck.
I mean, who doesn't love a partner just randomly text you? I want to fuck you. Hi. Hello. Hi. Have we met? Because we should meet. I love you too, forever and ever. Amen. You're dirty. I love it. Oh, anyways, if you meet somebody that never gets offended by what you say,
Mhm.
ever, and then they take you up on whatever your attempt to be offensive thing is, marry that person. I'm just saying. Hey, are you hungry? You want something to eat? I'm gonna eat that ass. Well, get over here. Fucking start eating. Let's go. I love you so much. You're my favorite person. You're my favorite person. But my mom's here. That's really awkward. Can you not?
Could you wait to after dinner? Jesus Christ.
We're at Olive Garden. I just wanted extra breadsticks for you. Did you get
Jesus.
some breadsticks?
It's unlimited
Jesus.
soup. It's
Fuck.
unlimited soup.
Soup.
If you don't get at least 3 bowls, they're fucking you.
Jesus. Oh, I thought it was unlimited gooch. No, that's after dinner.
Yeah. It's the gift that keeps giving.
Fuck.
Never runs out.
No more Zuppa Toscana. I can't handle the farts. It's too much.
I like
Spicy. She needs some gnocchi. Needs some gnocchi.
Oh, I like that
A little
too.
more subtle. A little more, maybe some minestrone is okay.
Uh,
Oh.
not minestrone.
All right.
So, what are you obsessed with besides sex?
Apparently eating ass.
That's sex.
I'm not obsessed with it. It's just, it's a thing.
Oh, that's disappointing. All right. Well, that took a turn.
No. What, you don't eat ass?
That you're not obsessed with it, dipshit.
Oh,
That's
no.
why.
It's a goal.
Oh.
I don't do that. It's just that. Oh, hello. Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, if your tongue feels like that, your dick should too.
Oh, see what happens. No, I can get my tongue out of my mouth. That's different. Okay. Stupid.
I haven't laughed this hard, and I'm not high, and this is weird. Oh my god.
It's been an interesting week. I'm not angry. I'm like happy, and I'm angry and goofy. I'm not angry right now. So it's
No, not angry at all. At all.
Yeah. That's what happens when you spend a weekend doing something that you want to do.
That must be nice.
And then making your mom talk about 2 Girls, 1 Cup, getting spanked, and all sorts of just crazy shit on the show. It was really funny, dude. But all right, let's talk about something I'm obsessed with.
Okay. And you can't say podcasting.
It's gonna sound it might be too vanilla, generic, boring, but something I'm obsessed with is learning new things, either historically that will help connect dots for me, or I really enjoy like future projection history, not science fiction, but like Ray Kurzweil, who talks about when biology and technology are going to interconnect. I forget what he calls that. Kurzweil. It's not the quickening. It's the.
No, that's Highlander.
At the point where basically like nanotechnology, which will be able to be in your body, in your blood.
It already is through the vaccine, but go ahead.
Correct. I know. I get it. I've been paying attention to this stuff 30 years before it happened. So I'm like,
fucking there.
So basically, once there's a nanotechnology, already called spike protein, mRNA, that will go in and clean your body of free radicals and, things that shouldn't be there. Once technology and biology are symbiotic, like what does that future look like? How was it ever done positively in order to give just benefits to the human race? Or is the idea behind the technology to control the human race? Or is there a point where nanotech takes over or takes back
By the way, a
the
side note.
bioorganisms that it dropped here in the first place?
Side note to that. What was? Oh, yeah. When I moved to Tucson and the fucking Channel 9 or whatever, or Channel 5, whatever it is, they have Skynet. I was like, that's
Yeah.
not a good sign.
No, bad.
It's not a good sign at all. What? I'm like, what? Did nobody see Terminator? Did
Right.
nobody see?
Right.
Why the fuck would you name it Skynet? There's
Right.
so many other
Even
things.
the space station shit, they're like, well, up in Skylab. I'm like, no, we don't want to call it that. No, it's not good.
No. What the
Sounds
fuck?
like they're perched up there waiting to take over. I don't like it.
Right. That's interesting. I mean, I
Right.
think my Sasquatch answer was better, but yours was good and serious, very
But
serious.
I like both things. I like to understand all the history of humans and human behavior and sociology, psychology, even politics, like all those things that have kind of what I'm understanding now as I get older, connected us as tribes throughout history. And that's
Right.
really what I'm fascinated by is what's the human experience?
Right. Well,
Be-
it explains why people react and now the way they do is because you know what led up to it. So that makes sense. Absolutely.
yeah,
Um,
and when they say that people who are unaware or ignorant of history are doomed to repeat it,
correct.
and we repeat it all the time.
Over and over.
And the quickening, or whatever you would want to call it, as things start to coalesce, as technology increases the amount of awareness that
Right.
you have of those events, and then you can start shaping it so people don't have a negative experience around it. Because there will be a time in the next 40 years, I promise you, that Nazi Germany and Russia and all the fascism and authoritarian destruction that happened in the 1930s and 40s, it will be perceived differently by the time the generations get around and everything is rewritten. Because when
Right.
things are no longer physical, when you no longer have a physical something, that means that if it's digitized, that means it can be controlled and changed at any point. The moment that I understood this the most was when I picked up a copy of The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. And I'm not a huge fan of Nazi history. I'm scared by it, but I'm not.
I'm fascinated by it.
But
Absolutely
like,
fascinated.
I'm not a big researcher of it. Like, I'm very surface level about that stuff. The destruction of man by man is something that's always happened, and I don't like to live there for too long because as my son would say, I think you're looking for confirmation bias. I, I'd probably be like looking for repeat behavior. But I remember picking up The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, and if I remember correctly, I had a first edition because I resold it on Amazon when it was just a bookseller.
Right.
Um, it was covered in this weird plastic cover over it, and it was kind of this green, like military green color. And I think it was written like 1956, if I remember correctly. And as I'm going through it, I'm reading this book, and I have this realization that I'm reading about something that it actually was started earlier than when it was printed, right? So someone had to start authoring this and researching this. And if you're going to do, I think it's like a 1,200 page book, bigger than the Bible, I'll tell you that. If you're going to do something of this magnitude, it's going to take several years to get your research done and get everything pushed through. So if this was released in early to mid 50s and it was started less than a decade from when it was a current event.
Right.
And this was probably 15 years ago that I read the book, I'm guessing. I was here in Tucson. And I had this moment as I'm going through it that I'm reading the voice of somebody who's since passed, and I'm reading the voice of somebody who was an adult who witnessed their point of view of world events as these atrocities that people didn't even know about.
Right.
They came out after the fact, how
Right.
bad it was, how horrific it was. That this guy was writing this stuff down as the information was coming in. And that's a moment where I'm like, whew, like in my head as a kid, when you read about history, you're
Right.
so far detached from the fables and the stories
Right.
that they have become fables and stories.
It would be like if you wrote a story about 9/11 because you
Right.
were there, you witnessed it, you saw how the country did whatever.
Right.
That's very, very similar.
I'm an adult telling you what I saw. I'm
Correct.
giving you a news event. I'm giving you a
Right.
contemporary piece. And that impacted me in such a way because I'm like, I'm reading his account of his truth. And for all intents and purposes, as you're doing your research and you're being vetted by the editor, not to say that they didn't force your narrative to go a certain way because we don't know, right? But
Right.
you're pretty much as close as you're going to be to the truth of what happened. And to me, it was like, that's why I went back and I would read the Bible in the most original text I could. I don't read Aramaic, but I like to read it in Aramaic. That's how it was written.
Right.
I want to read God when you say God as Yahweh, Yeshua. I want to read, Yeshua HaMashiach, not, Jesus Christ. I want to kind of experience it in as close to its original form as possible, not the bastardized narration that we're all fed.
Right.
And that was that moment where I was like, this is not history. This is now. This is the now for when it happened. And then that's when I thought, my whole life I've just trusted that whatever they put in front of me was the thing. It was the truth. It was a version of the truth. And then I'd hear as a kid that, oh, they're changing the history books. Oh, they're not going to focus on this so much. Oh,
Right.
and I would hear that, from my family members and whatnot. I didn't know what liberalism was. I didn't know what all that shit was. But they're like, oh, we're going to hell in a handbasket. Whatever that means, right? We're going to hell in a handbasket because they're changing the reality of the fact that white people who came to America slaughtered. They murdered what they didn't understand. Because throughout human history, we are murderers, all of us. Our propensity for death and
Oh,
destruction.
yeah. Well, whoever's left is the murderer. That's how it worked. You either won or you lost. If you
Whoever's
won,
left is the victor. In the
correct.
middle of
But
it, you're the murderer. But
correct.
you're right. Whoever survived, they killed harder than
Whoever
the
was
other
able
people.
to tell the tale
It's a really good
is
point.
the one that won most of the time, right?
Yes, you
Um,
murdered the most.
right.
You won
So
by default.
to segue to, because there's two questions in the chat. Just a heads up.
Thoughts on
Um,
UFOs?
well, no, the first one is the best place to hear music in Tucson. So if you are a metalhead and you want your ears to bleed, The Rock is the best metal experience by far. The
Go with John.
Go with John.
His legs will get weak, but he will do his best.
But the best sound system is probably the Rialto because of the way it's set up. So, and my thoughts on UFOs, I don't think they're UFOs. I think it's interdimensional, or it's the future. It's us from the future. So those are my thoughts on that. So yeah, I don't really believe in UFOs. I think everything is. I think everything is frequency. What did we win?
What
did
did
they
you win? Hey, baby, you want me to leave you a personal message?
win?
I will destroy you, princess. I will destroy you. You're such a good girl. So proud of you.
So
Go ahead. You can finish. Go. Do it. Do it.
I'd buy you a beer.
Say, Daddy, I just came. I know. Thanks for showing up. Oh, yeah. Next on Geoff does ASMR for horny women and men. You know what? You guys know who Amaranth is? No, you don't, because you don't pay attention to Twitch. Amaranth is this porcelain-skinned, red-headed goddess of a woman. She does ASMR, audio stimulation, blah, 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 reflex, whatever the fuck it means.
So there's no visual; it's just audio.
No, it's visual too.
Oh, okay.
They take
That's cheating.
binaural. Look, I just lost viewers. I brought up Amaranth. They're gonna go look for her. I don't look around Twitch very often. There's a couple things that I found that I liked. Steel Toe Radio Show. They're fucking hilarious. I love them. Check them out. If you like old school radio shows where they just make you laugh and they talk shit, go do that. Steel Toe Radio Show. Love them.
Jeff and John.
Jeff and John. You got Jeff and John. You want people who go random on random? You want to go Rise and Fall, the Third Reich, a butt plug.
And
Just add
Sasquatch.
to it, John. Sasquatch. I would actually probably watch our radio. I would watch our radio show. It's random. All we need is like a little bed of music, like they have.
Right.
And every now and then you're like, all right, guys, what do they call it? The something train. When you're trying to get people to subscribe. Guys, it's the night train, or I don't know. The hype train. There's all these gimmicky things on Twitch I don't even pay attention to. I watch somebody else's show and I'm like, how do they have 7,000 subscribers? I'm like, oh, because they do shit that engages the audience and makes it. Because I'm like, I'll buy. I'm like, I'm a salesperson. I'm so shitty at fucking marketing it. Have I brought up once where my merchandise is and what fucking site?
Not once. Hey,
No.
do you have the hat there?
Self-promotion. I suck at it. Hey, guys. Shelfhelpshow.com. Go buy some shit. And let me give you an idea of some of the shit we have. So this is a professionally printed thing that I probably paid $15 for. And I don't recommend that you do because I could have fucking made this on my printer. This was a mock-up for one of my logo ideas for Shelf Help Show. This says, Shelf Help, take action. I don't know why I had it printed, other than I happened to go to Printful, and then they're like, we'll give you 10% off since you're the dude who made it. I'm like, fuck yeah. Now I have it. And then I had to cut it and frame it myself because I bought it in a fucking size that doesn't fit in anything. Okay, I'm selling the shit out of this. I'll autograph anything you send to me, including your mom's panties. All right. And then I said, I want some stickers. I'm going to get some stickers because it's only like $7 for stickers. $7 for stickers? I can get 500 stickers for $3.99 on Amazon. Fuck that guy. I have stickers. I don't even use this logo, but I printed it.
He is mentally challenged.
Shelf Help. Take action. All right.
Oh my god!
And this is the best part. This is how much I love this guy right here. He doesn't have a show aside from what he does with me. He likes a brand concept that he came up with. I started a Facebook page to support it. I would buy the domain, but he won't give me the $10 to do it. And then I'd build him a fucking. I'd build him a website. But check this out. I made merchandise for him because I like the idea. Like, John, will you follow your own fucking group, please?
Oh yeah, I got to do that. Do me a favor, send me links again.
Why don't you just call me during the week? Why do you send it to me on Messenger? Only?
Yeah,
that's where we start. So, anyways, John likes trucker hats and he likes Transplanted Devil. I made this hat before I came up with a character that he hated and now loves. And so now I just spent $15 on a fucking hat that doesn't have what he loves on it. But let's go ahead and enjoy it. It's your hat, John. Right here. It is a trucker cap that says transplanted devil. Here you go. I did the black and white for you.
That's awesome.
And that is yours. That is yours, sir. So this is for sale for like $13.95 if you want to transplant the devil. There's also an embroidered one that has a little devil that I made in the middle of it, which is actually pretty cool. So what's the idea behind transplanted devil, my friend?
So it kind of came more from, so the name itself is, I've used it for everything. Oh, nice. Not even.
Yeah, that looks pretty good actually.
That is a nice looking hat. But the idea you came up with was even better, is stories, especially because where we live, nobody's from here. Absolutely.
No one's from Arizona. We just wind up here.
Especially Dirty T.
Damn, I look good in a trucker's hat, son.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Kind of good. Yeah, but you have such good hair that
I know. It's like, why ruin that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. So that's why we're going with that.
I look like a boy band when I wear a hat. I'm like, hey guys.
Say bye. Bye. But anyway, so nobody's from here.
My name is Cletus.
Everybody's got. Now you look like a psycho.
Y'all want gas? You gotta
Where's the meth? Where's the meth? Anyway, everybody's
seen how much I weighed before. Yeah.
So who's Tim? EH 2012.
Timmy
Timmy
just joined. Thanks, Timmy. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Yeah, I got to follow my own group. I know. Timmy's right. Anyway, everybody's got stories from where they're from, and I kind of segue earlier about saying it really doesn't matter where you're from, but everybody's got experiences from there that are so unique to the people in the Dirty Tea that the stories would be outstanding. What you would, something as lame as what you would do on a Friday night or wherever you're from would be unique and cool to somebody who lives here. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we were talking about that. But not only, I would love to hear people's paranormal stories from where they're from, what they're known from. I grew up in Amityville. Yes, the Amityville horror.
Amityville. That's where the people from the movie.
I'd love to hear stories from wherever anybody's from. So yes, I have to get my ass in gear.
The Luxus, right?
Very good.
But there was a murder.
Yeah,
a dude murdered his family there in like the 1950s.
No, 1974. No? It was the weekend that we moved from Queens, New York, to Amityville.
You were not fucking born.
Yeah, I was. I was born in January of 74. It happened in October of 74.
Oh, so I'm older than you, young man.
Are you?
Yeah, December 73.
What day?
20th.
Oh, okay.
That's good like as if the day mattered because you're January of 74.
Well, I just want to know when your birthday was, Dick. That's where I was on that.
My son was born on December 20th too, but not 73.
That would be weird.
02.
That would be weird.
29 years and 29 minutes exactly after me.
Yeah. So 29 years, 29 minutes, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, that's creepy. That's
same
good.
city, same state.
Oh, dude, 29. What are the two dots called?
An umlaut.
Okay.
Or no, that's what they go this way.
Yeah, no. In between. Yeah, so 29 colon 29 should be like your production company or something like that, dude. That's a fucking shit. It's a great.
Except he'd have to get off his ass, or not really, because he is at his mom's house on his computer anyway. You're already a moderator. You're already an dick. Just pay attention to your father. Ooh, 29 Productions. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. I have some ideas sometimes.
I'm trying. Thank you. That's really good. I'm
not
trying
even
to leave.
high.
I'm trying to
Transplanted Devil was a good name too.
Transplanted Devil is dope, actually. That's
and when we do
It's way better than Shelfhelp, which is gay. Yeah.
No, no,
Shelfhelp.
I like it. It just I think it needs to be promoted, Dick.
Oh, can someone do that for me? I'm way better at promoting other people's stuff.
Yes, yes, you are. You're way
Well,
better.
I did come up with Atomic Dork Squad. Actually, my dad did. It was
Oh.
just a natural thing. That's what he called Jeff Coy. When Jeff Coy told on me for having a dirty magazine picture.
Did he really?
Yeah, I had a Madonna from the Playboy magazine picture.
Oh,
I'd
it wasn't
taken
Playboy. It was Penthouse
Penthouse.
because that's how I got paid.
They reprinted them in Playboy, her art house pics.
Oh, so when I had a paper route. So I was 11, 12 years old when that came out.
I want my $2.
Oh, Better Off Dead. Such a good movie.
Nice.
See, that's what I mean. It's too many things that I would understand that you say. But the dude, one of the guys on my paper route, him and his wife, he was like, "Hey,
Did you fuck her?
God, at a 12, I wish I did." He was like, "Hey, instead of collecting for this week, how about you want the copy of the Madonna Penthouse?" And I was like, "Yes, absolutely." And
Try not to act like you're excited.
I was like, "Oh,
Yes,
yes,
please.
absolutely." And then I was like, "Oh, look at her hairy armpits. Oh, it's really not that good. It's really not that good. Can I just have the money?"
Like, even then, in like 1983 or whatever it was, 84, 85, we knew that like hairy armpits were a little like, huh? Like Bush was fine, like giant Bush, fine. Like we were used to
Yeah, no, it's okay.
big old
But
muff, French cut bikini, that's fine.
I was like, "Oh,
But you're like,
no."
oh.
I was like, "Yeah, no, it's not. No, not good. Not good." But
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, so I
I
had
remember I was like,
I
it's
had Madonna.
gross, Madonna, this gross. I hate you.
Oh, still jerked off to it. Jesus Christ, are you kidding me?
So I showed Jeff Coy. I said, I had that picture folded up in my pocket. I knew he was a prude. I known him since we were 7. That's like a lifetime. And I was like, hey, guess what? He's in my bedroom. That sounds dirty when you say it like that. He was in my bedroom. Because we were playing, because we were young. And I was like, hey, I'm going to show you something. And he's like, okay. And I was like, look. Bink. He goes, I was like, do not tell anyone. I don't know if you guys can tell in video. I mean, he was smaller than I was back then. He
He's
was
still
like,
smaller than you.
he's still smaller. He's like 5'7", 5'8", maybe. He's not that small. My son's like 5'7", 120 pounds. At least he's got 100 pounds on my son. Boom, boom. But
That's why he
was
falls
always
asleep on the podcast.
yeah. I don't know why I fell asleep. I'm like, you were wasted. Like you started off drunk. Like that's
He was,
why. He's like, oh,
he was
it's
drinking
okay.
whiskey,
I've
right?
been there, my friend. I've been there. I'm not judging. I'm just making fun of you because it's fun.
Because he was snoring. That was what. That was really good.
He has apnea. He's gonna die. Someone push him over.
The best part is you
Like,
played it for him. He goes, "Oh, that's me." That was it. He didn't get mad. He's just like, "Oh, that's me."
I love him. I've been busting his balls since we were little. So he tried to kill me with a Louisville Slugger twice. Like kill me, murder me. He tried to murder me. I thought I was gonna die, but I'm faster than him and I'm bigger than him, so I got away. Yay! So I show him this dirty picture, and I'm like, "Do not, Jeff. Do not tell anyone." He was like, "Okay." His Puritan mom. I fucked Jeff Coy's mom.com. His Puritan mom had taught him to tell on everyone for everything, and I was like, "I'm taking a chance." But if I showed Daniel would just be like, "I'll pray for you," and I would feel shame. So the guys I chose to hang out with. Anybody want to whack off to porn? No? Well, I guess we're not going to have that accidental homosexual experience together. No?
Shucks.
Damn it. All right. No, none of on accident. No? All right. Well, yeah, Jesus loves you too. Fucking weirdos. I'm never talking to these guys again. 40 years later. Hey, you guys want to do a show?
Where you're gonna sleep on the couch? All right, this is good. This is good. Good
So is it going to be
podcast.
like our dynamic in the past? Like you act insane, and then he laughs hysterically because he wants to be like you, and I pray for you, and I'm like, yeah, cool, sounds fun. I miss it.
Wait a minute. I thought Mark was your Cameron.
He is. So Mark and I went to high school together, but
Okay.
we were not friends in high school. But
Okay.
he was. We knew each other, and as he points out, we were both alphas in the nerd pool, but we just had two groups of nerds.
We
So
call
he
that
had his group,
badass nerd.
and I
by
had
the way.
mine.
Badass nerd is what we call
Badass
that.
nerd.
Badass.
Yeah, badass nerds. Yeah, I was like a peripheral nerd. I didn't like any of the nerd things they did. I got out of Star Wars when I was like 10, and I called them names for the rest of my life, and I still do. Hey, you want to see Phantom of the Menace? We're gonna stand in line for 18 hours. I was like, I'm gonna go bang these two chicks and drink tequila. You guys go fuck yourselves. That was me talking to Geoff and Daniel like 99. And it was a true story. We got flash forward to like April of this year, and I was like, you guys remember when you called me? Like, yeah. I'm like, did I tell you I was gonna bang two chicks and drink tequila? Just like, I wasn't exaggerating. I did, and I don't regret it, nerds.
And I don't know if you know this, it's available on TV.
Yes. It's called www.ifuckjeffboysmom.com. So I showed Geoff the picture, and then he goes like, I'm like, don't. He's like, I put it away, put it in my pocket. He goes, okay, well, I have to go home for dinner. I said, all right, bye, Geoff. And bye, Jeff Adams. And then he goes down the hallway, and my dad's standing there, and he goes, Mr. Adams, Jeff Adams has a picture of a dirty girl and a naked girl in his pocket. And then he runs out the fucking door. Screen door slams. I'm like, mother. I'm stuck. My dad just like looks in the hall. Like, well, what? What's up with the atomic dork? That's how we got Atomic Dork Squad. What's up with the atomic dork? I remember I'd asked my dad later because he is stuck. He named Bucky. Bucky's name is Jason. Bucky's wife didn't know his name was Jason until they went to get their wedding certificate. She thought his name was Bucky. My dad called him Bucky.
Why?
It stuck. His parents called him Bucky. It just switched. He went from being Jason Christopher Nelson to Bucky because of my dad. He had that authority for some reason. Hey, you look like Cowboy Bucky Goldstein, the Jewish cowboy. Nice job, Bucky. He dressed up like a cowboy for Halloween, and he got coined Bucky, which was a Stephen Wright joke. Bucky stuck. I'm like, Dad, you just declare it and it becomes like fucking fact. It's like, well, faggot. I was like, Dad, don't call me that. Dad, no, it's not going to stick. Stop it, please. My mom was like, fuck face. I'm like, stop. You guys suck. She's like, Peanut, you have a small dick. I'm like, stop. You guys are horrible people. None of those are going to stick. Mom, I need to get a jock strap for 7th grade. She's like, what? A rubber band and a peanut shell. What else do you need there, Peanut? Well, stop. This is why it took 47 fucking years for my girlfriend to be like, no, your dick is big. No, it's not. My mom says, look at it. I just figured that out right now live. I'm not kidding you.
Oh, that's awesome.
God, I didn't know I needed that therapy.
You're welcome.
That's real. I'm not kidding.
That's
My
funny.
mom would tell me I had a small wiener when I was 7. All 7-year-olds have a small wiener, Mom.
This is like my hallucination thing, but much deeper, much deeper. Holy shit! Hey Jeff, I'm here for you to talk it out, man. It's Shelfhelp, dude. It is Shelfhelp.
29 Productions.
Come on, how fucking great is that?
Oh, that is perfect. Actually, I love it.
Now, if you do the colon between it, is
My
that going
son
to look
knows
like
he has
a
a thick dick.
time?
He told me years ago. I didn't believe him. No, he's like, "Hey, Dad. So I just want to say thanks." I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Thick." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Mom told me it's genetic." I was like, "You're stupid." He's like, "Yeah, thanks, Pops."
Thanks.
And then like I go to drop him off, and he's like, "Yeah, thick." Like, so he's like, "Will you stop? Why are you making him act?" I'm like, "I didn't make him act like anything. What are you talking about?" He's walking around talking about his thick wiener all the time. I was like, "Well, I mean, I guess." She's like, "Well, I mean, I said like, yeah, but I told you, Dad, like I was with the black guy, right? I was with the black guy when I was trying to get him to believe me that I didn't want to be with him anymore. And then after I was like, hey, you know the myth? Yeah, it's really it's not that big of a myth, I'll be honest with you. You beat him. I was like, wait, what? This is a conflicted moment. You're cheating on me.
For a
And
moment,
yet
I'm proud.
you gave me a compliment. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do I process this? I want to put a gun in my mouth right now. And then yet at the same time, I'm like, oh,
Yeah. There's a
you're
TikTok.
thicker than a black guy's. That's great. Thanks, honey.
There's this TikTok with this husband and wife.
This is why I'm broken. This is literally how I get compliments in my life.
Shut up. Listen.
I cheated on you with a black dude. I think it was rape. But anyways, I just want to let you know that your wiener is bigger than his.
So this couple
so good
goes.
about this.
The guy goes to the girl. Why don't you ever say something nice to me? She goes, you want me to say something nice to you? He goes, yeah. Your dick's bigger than your dad's. And she just walks out of the room. And at first he's like, what?
We didn't lose our 4 viewers. That's good. So
that's good.
So I'm going to tell a fictitious story because I don't want anyone to think it's real. So this dad is hanging with his 3 kids, 9 kids. It doesn't matter, anyways. I lost a viewer. Shit. Anyhow, so this I heard about this. So this daughter hears from her friend that her friend thinks that she might have an STD of some sorts, and then she's like, "Oh, that sucks for the friend." And then her friend says, "You might want to tell your brother." And then the daughter's like, "Oh no, I don't like knowing about this in the first place, but now the implications are very strong." And then the friend daughter is like, "Oh no, what do I do? Like, I don't remember. What do you mean? What do you mean tell my brother you might have something?" And she's like, "Well, I'm just saying, you should probably tell him you might want to get checked out." And she's like, "Why? I don't know. Wait,
And
what?"
while you're at it, tell your dad too.
Well, all right, so this gets better, right? So so then she's like, "Oh no." He's like, "Well, when did this happen?" She goes, "Well, this time." She's like, "Oh, that was at my dad's house." Wait, what? Why? Are you sure? I don't like talking about things like that. And then much less being like, "Oh, by the way, somebody get yourself checked out." So poor kid is like freaking out about this idea. And she's just like, and she's very like not into things that are gross and like sexual. And like, she's always like, I heard, from the story, "Dad, like, why do you always have to like go make it awkward? Why do you always have to make it awkward?" I was like, "No, it's true. You have to be naked before you have sex." "I don't want to be naked in front of somebody." I'm like, "Good. That's good. I'm glad. Stay sheltered. I love you." This is what I heard.
That's what you heard.
Don't be like your friend and your brother. It's a horrible idea. Who were both minors at the time. Thank God, at least for that part, according to the story. So, so she holds on to this information and what I heard for like 48 hours, right, trying to figure out how to bring it up. And she's figuring like, I got to tell him. I probably got to tell my parental unit too, because I don't know how to handle this exactly, but I just want to throw up, and I don't want to talk about any of it. But now the burden is on me. If I don't do something, what if they die of whatever this thing is?
Right.
I'm like, you don't die of herpes. It's just some speed bumps get in the way.
It's a gift that keeps giving.
Gives it keeps on giving. It'll slow you down a little until they tear and bleed, and then a lot. And it's fine. So this girl, this teenage girl, finally gets up the courage, and she's like, that's what I read this story in a book, and she's like, Dad, I need to talk to you about something. And Dad was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. What's going on? Why do you look like you're gonna pass out? And she's like, well, my friend thinks that, I don't know, she went to the doctor and they said that like maybe she has this thing, like it's, it's permanent. I was like, ooh, like a credit score? Said that. Said, what? What is that? Don't try and shut the fuck up. Which is shocking because she doesn't talk like that. Will you just listen? So the dad, in shame, go ahead. My friend said that she has herpes simplex something or other. And she said that maybe my brother should get checked out. Because apparently he might have caught it from her. I was like, I mean, the father was like, well, I wonder when the two of them would have had an opportunity to be in contact with each other unsupervised. Wait, he was asleep, said the father in this imaginary story. He was asleep. And the father had taken his date home at like 4:30 in the fucking morning because ecstasy was worn off. And, it was like 5:30 in the morning, and he's talking to the daughter's friend who's all like, oh, you're like the dad I never had. And then he was like, well, keep your distance. It's 5:30 in the morning. This seems dangerous. You've known me since I was 7. My stepdad raped me, and my uncle, I had to suck his. And then I heard that the dad was like, woo, woo, hey, household, wake up, save me. This is not good. Woo, woo, anyone. I just wanted to. And I remember reading in the story that the parental figure was smart enough to wake up. Friend. Hey, wake up. Your friend wants a hug, and I'm not doing it. Keep crying. No hugs. No hugs. I'm not going to prison. And then I said, I read the story. I remember that person was like very responsible for dad, minus the part that he had to, take someone home after the ecstasy wore off, which it sounds irresponsible. But and I remember in the story that he made that child commit. He said, listen, child, I know you don't have a strong father figure in your life, but until you can set boundaries in your life, period, about human beings, and period, like this is what is acceptable and this is what is not, then you can't do things that are adult things. You can't give a shit if you're 15 years old or 16 years old. It doesn't matter. You can't do those things unless you can act in a way that would be like any other grown-up. You can't set boundaries. You can't do those things. That's it. Do you hear me? Yes. I remember this parental person in the story feeling like had a good moment with this family friend who'd known since she was a little kid and being like, listen to me. I'm telling you, no. Someone needs to tell you no in your life. I'm telling you no. I care about you. You matter. Don't make bad choices. No boundaries, then you can't play in the adult pool. That's the fucking rules. That's how much it costs to play like an adult. Is you have to be able to set boundaries and respect yourself. Yes, sir. Good girl. Okay. Go to bed. What did I just say? I read this. I'm paraphrasing. What did I just tell you? If you don't set boundaries, you can't act like an adult. That is correct, because you're not. Because you're a fucking what? Child. That's correct. You're a child. No hugs, but you get a lecture because I care about you. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome. Now go to bed. Somewhere in the next 30 minutes, apparently, in the story, someone had the opportunity to possibly have some sort of transmission of something from something to somewhere. I remember I had a great, this person said, I had a great opportunity to share my fucking morality with somebody who was lacking parental guidance. And I felt very proud of myself. Like, listen, no boundaries, no sexing. Yes, sir. But what if I suck your son's wiener? Well, yeah, duh. No, it never happened like that, according to the story. But it did. Yeah, so here I am I hear this person's face this conundrum from the daughter. This weird tale. And all the father could think is, she wasn't listening to me. She wasn't listening. They never listen. They never listen. They never listen. I spent an hour and a half talking to this girl. Not my, this person said, not my kid, but I thought, spend the time. Spend the time. It's worth it. Because she'll hear your voice and she'll realize that someone loves her who doesn't want to molest. You know, like, that's a good thing, right? Be a pillar for that kid. And then you go to sleep. Now you got to talk to your boy about herpes.
Oh boy.
So this is the best part. This comes full circle. This crazy ass story that I just made up because I read it somewhere.
Yeah.
Father turns to his daughter, who didn't want to have to be the bearer of everything because the responsibility was too great. And father turns to the daughter and says, well, it could be worse. She said, how is that possible, Father? You could be having to tell your father that he has to get checked out too.
So I kind of ruined the story. I
Yeah,
apologize.
it was good though. It's fine though. And that's how it unfolded according to the story I read in the book.
That you read.
And then
Correct.
the daughter's like, what? That'd be worse. That'd be worse. I'm like, see? Perspective.
And now me and my son share a prescription. Anyway,
Brevia. It's not just for your lips. Oh God, the way I said that. Horrific commercial. Brought to you by, guys, we're sponsored tonight by herpes meds.
Oh Lord.
And yeah. CPS coming to your house in the story and saying, hey, good job, actually.
Allegedly.
You're not doing that bad. You're really not. What were you thinking? Well, can we go to the clinic? No. For the rest of your life, just worry. Worry. I want you to worry. If it itches, it's probably true. But Dad, it itches all the time. It's because you have a dirty wiener. Why don't you go throw some bleach on it, you pig? Really? At my house? I pass you in the hallway. It's 800 square feet. There's no hallway. It's just a way. What are you doing up? Nothing. You lied. You guys are playing tippity tap. SOS. It's that. Well, guess who's never having a sleepover again? You, my son. You're excommunicated, said the man in the story. You go away, because she's hot and she'll be 18 soon. The joy.
The joy.
The joy. The conflict. I want to be a good parental figure to you, but I know that it doesn't take much for someone like that to go to jail, because people who don't have parental figures could have a weird attachment issue. And strangely, said this man, although I am crazy and say crazy shit because it's funny, I have enough wherewithal to, aside from let kids sneak around behind underneath your nose, which we all have done. It only takes 10 seconds. Trying to do the right thing as a parent. Try to do the right thing, and no matter what. We all have the best intentions. We really do. We're just like, oh, here's this moment. This is why I say these are things that you don't imagine that are gonna fuck up your kids, and the things that you worry about that they don't remember. And here's truth. We are imperfect creatures. We 100% are figuring it out as we go. And
Right.
if you could be honest about that with yourself and even with your kids, when they get a certain age, they need to understand, hey, I'm winging it. I'm winging it. Like 6, that's not a good time. They're not going to sleep well. You don't want to. I have no idea. Dad, I think there's a boogeyman in my closet. You're like, fucking might be. Call John. He believes in Sasquatch.
Oh,
Yeah, is the boogeyman real? Probably. You're fucked. Good night. You want to say prayers? I want to say prayers. Jesus isn't real either. Bye. But Santa Claus, he'll kill you in your sleep. You better be careful. Hit you with a bag of coal. But yeah, we're sorting it out as we go, man. We really are.
that
You
is
sort it
true.
out every day for the rest of your life. That's the truth. And the whole
Think
idea
you do-
behind Shelfhelp is, here's my idea. There's two selves that you have, and one self is the one that you're born with, and it's the one that your core self, it's your kind of your soul self. It's the pure part of you that, if nurtured correctly, and it rarely happens, nurtured in exactly the way that you need, even though there's no instruction manual, then that true core self will cruise along in life and be happy and perfect, and things will come relatively easy, not a lot of conflict. They become your fucking 4th grade teacher who always has a smile on their face. Like there's people who they're not they don't get damaged. Their core self stays intact. And those are the people you marvel at. You're like, are you for real? You're just pleased. How are you just pleased? You're not bitter. You're not suspicious. You're not angry. You're just pleased. What would it be like to be married to someone like that?
I think
Honey,
it
I'm
would.
home. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you're home.
I think
I
that
made
would
a
be.
pie and my mouth is ready.
I think that would be nightmarish because without conflict, you can't. Without bad, you can't really enjoy good. In my head, anyway. But that's just my opinion.
Without conflict, there's no growth. Without failure, there's no right. But so then there's the other part of the self, right? And this is the shelf idea. It's the super hurt fucking part of yourself. It's the one that needs to be healed part of yourself. It's the thing that you become out of necessity at some point through your growth, adolescent, teenager, wherever it happens. There's this bifurcation, and this pure part of yourself goes, hey, wait, the world is fucked up. Or, hey, wait, my parents don't know what they're doing. Or, hey, wait, I feel alone. And I need guidance, and no one knows how to give it to me. So, whatever that thing might be, for other people, it's trauma. For other people, it's overt trauma. There's all these different things that are going to cause this kind of split at some point. And then the shelf, the super hurt part of yourself, kind of goes out and says, I'll take care of everything. I got this. And that's the part that starts paying attention. And that's when you become cunning and you become quick. And you start watching things. You go, things are fucked up. I knew it. I knew it. That's the part of yourself that starts manipulating and lying and stealing and cheating and all these things that they're like, that's a sin. You're like, fuck you. What I know is that I'm not hurt all the time anymore. What I know is that I don't feel as insecure as I used to feel before. And then you start to become fueled. And then that part of you that splits off, the super hurt part of yourself, starts to feel empowered because they're like, fuck this. I'm leaving that other one. You stay back there. It's safer back there. I'll catch up with you later. But I'm going to learn how to fucking manage my environment because I don't like being scared all the time. I don't like being afraid all the time. And over time, I think we leave that kind of soul self behind so far that we forget it exists. And we become stronger and we become whatever we need to become. We're very adaptable. And then you get to a point in life where you realize, just like everybody else does, which is we're all hurtling towards death. And I don't know if there's an answer, but we've been looking for it this whole time. That's why we struggle. But we can't stop the hurtling towards death part. We can't stop the feeling of insignificance if we stop and look around. You go, fuck, what is this all for? And then we look for a way to heal ourselves. And we want to improve ourselves, really. I'd say improve. That's what, to me, the whole self-improvement thing is about that. Take a word that describes your feeling and then focus on that for the next 40 years until you're dead. And then you'll forget that you're just going to die anyways. How to deal with fear. Like, fuck, I have fear. And then there's 250,000 books about fear. And then you read about fear. Like, guys, I figured out fear. What's it about? Well, there's more books about fear, but I'm figuring it out. And they're like, oh, you're just distracted from the fact that you're going to die. And you're like, well, what? Distracted. I'm going to get a book about distracted. Self-help is good. I love it. I'm improving. But you're not. You're not improving. You're not. You're still dying. You're just distracted. There's a positive in here, I promise.
I'm waiting.
There it is. There it is. Go with my hypothesis.
I'm still with you.
It's no worse than anybody else's. You start to get tired because you're trying to solve for something that you can't solve for. You can't improve on the fact that you're dying and you're not sure what your fucking purpose in life is. You can't improve that. But what you can do is, if you remember the perfect self that you started as, you could remember that maybe you need to heal this part of you. Because the things that created the strong because of the vulnerable, the courageous because of the weak, the thing that we adapted to become, which is more likely to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, and protect ourselves from the pain, we get tired of it eventually. And other people do too. And that's when we kind of slow down a little bit and we start remembering who we were. And we're like, I can improve who I was. I can't improve who I am. That's why I'm stuck. But I can heal this person though. So it's not about self-improvement. It's just about healing. Let me heal this thing that I've become. This series of ideas and rules and dogmas and routines and fucking musical interludes that I have made to create my persona that is the one who protects me. And then how do I let that go and let the other one catch up? That's healing. And to me now, if you're going to heal, that means you have to start forgiving, because that's where the wounds come from. And you have to remember that you were raised by people who were not perfect, because there's no such thing. You're raised by people who maybe even didn't want kids. We're all driven by the same things. Put the P in the V and see what happens. In that moment, we're not necessarily thinking about the responsibility of fucking generations that lie in front of us. But then all of a sudden, we are. We're like, fuck. How is my broken ass self? I haven't figured out myself yet. Why do I have kids? That's a horrible idea. And we're like, well, let's start making shit up. It's called parenting. Let me start answering the questions why. But daddy, why? Because of this. Well, why? Because of this. Well, why? We shut the fuck up. Why? Socrates had to kill himself because he asked why too many times. Go drink some hemlock. Shut the fuck up. You get on my nerves. Why, daddy? Jesus Christ, this is intense. You take over. I don't want to take over. You're the one who didn't want anal that night.
And the moral of the story is that if she would have just taken it in the ass,
Just taking the ass would have been fine.
None of this would have happened.
Yeah. They call the orgasm la petite mort in French for a reason. It's the little death. It's in that moment of joy and bliss that nothing else exists. That it's as if you were dead. There's a reason why we chase that our entire lives. Because it's like we're jumping ahead to that thing that we fear the most. In that moment of bliss and non-existence, that's where we want to live. Because when you have to come back and chase it, fuck, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. So jerk off, have fun. It's great. But
And girls,
that's the
take it in
Shelfhelp.
ass. And girls take it in the ass, and you're not
There you
funny.
go. Girls, you all like it. You like it. You like the spackle. You like the come. Don't act like you don't. It's not grossing when you're doing it. So
That's it.
women will negotiate with the beta what they will do with the alpha willingly. So birthday blowjobs and I mowed the lawn. If that's your life, change it up. Take what's yours, for God's sake. Heal yourself, but heal yourself. That's the whole thing. Part of you can heal, part of you can improve. Don't try to improve the part that's broken. Just heal it and just forgive. Forgive everyone. I did it, and it literally has changed my life. I did it with my mother, who I always had this thing where I was like, well, my mom X, my mom this, my mom that, my mom that. I put my dad on a pedestal, and I put my mom 6 feet under when I was very young. No matter what she did, she wasn't enough, and no matter what he didn't do, he was. It was very unfair, but that's how our brains are wired. That's our wounded self trying to rationalize things. 11, 12 years later, my dad's been gone. I got my mom, and I had a moment like a year and a half ago. That's how long it took when I was learning how to process things different and heal. Healing is like having faith. It's the same thing. When you make the choice, then it's real.
Well, I think you have to come to the realization that you have all the power. You have
Mhm.
all of the power. And
Yeah.
if you let your brain live in that space, then all the other things you could accomplish, all the other things you could enjoy, it's being taken up by that space
Mhm.
that you've not let you've not let it go or forgiven, or
Mhm.
you never do a podcast with a boss that you thought was an asshole. I mean,
Right.
these are all things
Yeah.
as a grown ass man.
Grown ass man. Grown ass.
No, it's true. It's absolutely everything you just said in a very,
Verbose.
very well. I was going to say poignant, but okay, asshole.
Oh, that's funny. I was say, oh, too many words.
I told you it takes time for me to think of words that I want to say because of the fucking COVID. So, but no, it's true. Because year and a half ago, I can relate to that 100% after my dad passed. So I can absolutely relate, whether it's my sister, whether it's my mother, to just let it go, turn the page, forgive. I don't know if forgive. So to me, I don't think it's forgive so much as let yourself forget of whatever caused that to take up your headspace. Um, let it go. It really is. It is. It sounds simple and stupid, but it's so true because the amount of energy that you put into the negativity, the again in your headspace, if
Mhm.
you just let that go, also the possibilities, the doors that open, the experiences, the relationships that open, you can't put a price on it. So you're
Yeah.
100% correct. Absolutely, and that kills me inside to say that you're correct. We all know that.
You say that anytime you're like, oh, fuck.
It's like motherfucker.
God,
Damn it.
maybe I am a grown ass man.
He really isn't that funny. Fuck. I have a buddy of mine who did, and I probably told part of this, but I have a buddy that did. He was on a show with Pamela Anderson. He had his own Comedy Central special and stuff. And when we were in college, he was like everybody thought he was the greatest comedian ever or whatever. Whenever he
Sound
would
like Rodney Dangerfield. Take my wife, please. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it was genius. And when he would guest on my show up in college, I'd be like, I don't understand why fucking people laugh. I don't think he's funny at all. Like, not even a little. Like, and he tries to be zany, and it's sitting there
Right.
like, okay, but and it kind of, and I don't know if because he was older, had more power in the radio station and stuff, but I just let it go. I'm like, all right, you know what? And now when I see him on TV or something, I feel I feel very guarded that I hope he does well because I would feel horrible if he doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'm his worst critic, not to his face. I don't say
Right.
anything, but in my head, it's there where fuck, please do well. Please do well. Please be funny. Please. And it's not for I guess it is for me though, right? It's like you don't want to see somebody bomb.
Right.
And when he did his special, I was like, all right, that was good. And I saw him do stand up here in Tucson in the Dirty Tea. We're gonna have to do something with Transplanted Devil and the Dirty Tea. There's gonna have to
I think so.
that has to. But 29,
How about trans evil? Trans evil? No,
no,
that kind of a mixture.
no,
Would that,
no,
no.
no. That'll probably be frowned upon by some.
What if you're afraid of trans?
Yeah, that's where I was going with
planted
that.
devils? Like you'd be like transphobic or something like that. Like wearing a hat. Like
And you know where the Transplanted Devil came from, by the way?
princess, like on your shirt, princess, transphobic.
I'll tell you where the Transplanted Devil came from.
Tell me.
Because I was always considered kind of evil, and
Because you are.
no,
You just misunderstood. I know you're a sweetheart.
no, not anymore. But
It's
I
just the
always
part
thought-
of you that needs healing.
I feel like that was a bad rap, and I kind of want to embrace the whole devil thing.
Mhm.
So once
Ironically,
I moved, right?
Ironically, yeah.
Not so much. But once I moved here, I was like, "Fuck!" Now I'm the
I
transplant.
got a little God in my back pocket just in case. Just in case. Just my pets. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm interrupting. I apologize.
No, it's okay. I don't even know. The funny thing is that, I switched to beer, so
So you have to pee.
no. But we're 3 hours in, and I know how you have to get your fucking sleep or you cry about it.
Mm. Yeah, no balls. You want to go all night? I don't give a fuck. It's not like the.
Oh, I would have to be high to
Yeah,
go all
jobs.
night. And I'd need Viagra.
I'm just kidding.
If I was going to go all night, I'd need Viagra. Probably 2 pills.
See, Alice. It's good for like 12 hours. You don't have to take it on an empty stomach. It's good for like 24 hours. No, like I think it's the one they call like the weekend pill.
I don't know.
You have to have a stimulation. It does not like you get an erection just because. Not like when you were a teenager, but
Or you have to pee in the morning.
Oh, that's the best. You know it's working. When you're like, oh God, just release.
Good night, Mama Fox.
Release. Good night, Missy. I love you. I love you, baby. I promise.
Oh Lord.
Heal thyself.
That's good. Do you stream often? I don't know, Tim. You're a good guy, Tim.
What's up, Tim?
Oh, am I assuming Tim's a guy by the name Tim? Is that bad?
I don't believe that you can announce your pronouns and I can respect you, so we're gonna call Timmy. Timmy!
Bye-bye.
He and I stream once or twice a week, depending. There's variations of me and others. So
yeah, he's much more dedicated.
If you want to see months worth, you can check out Shelfhelp show.
I was gonna say I haven't even joined my own group yet.
Jeffrey Sinatra, YouTube, as well as Twitch. Twitch goes back 6 weeks, but I don't know. There's hundreds at this point, so yeah, there's something going on at least 3 or 4 nights a week, at least.
Yeah,
at least.
Sometimes I get in 1 to twice a week. 1 to 2. One, I'm good. Definitely once a week. Absolutely, I'm solid. Depends, because my schedule's a little bit. Did you just yawn, motherfucker? Holy
No.
shit! Yes, you
No,
did.
no. It's just I just stretched my jaw because of your mom. Good night, Amber. I love
It's
you.
weird. I'm at her house. I have that same problem.
Hey yo.
Hmm.
Oh my, said the ladies.
We're gonna go to sleep and we're gonna think about your vagina. No, sorry, hold on. We're gonna go to sleep and we're gonna think about your penises.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going with that?
I was trying to be women, but I have a hard time because I'm so manly. So I'm trying. My name is Amber. My name is Missy, and we want you to choke us and
Well,
spank
you know
us.
what? This is the longest they've stayed on with the two of us, so we must
Because
have
they've
been okay.
been double clicking the mouse the whole time.
Double
It'll keep you going.
clicking.
John Trap. Trap me, baby. Ah.
You have some issues.
Some. The amount of healing that I need will require self-destruction, ritual
No.
disembowelment, and then like a fire. Like, that's not true. I watch sometimes and don't say anything. Oh, she's in the background. She's like, brrr. It's like a Rolodex. She
Bing,
just
bing, bing, bing,
make
bing,
that
bing,
ding,
bing,
ding, 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 ding.
bing, bing, bing.
I know where to find it.
The G spot is not a myth. It's not a
No,
myth.
no. I'm really impressed they named it after me. It's cool.
And that's why your name is not normal spelt.
Yeah, my dad was wise. Hey, get over here. Let me tongue my spot. Ah. I know. You're welcome.
All right.
On Revenge of the Nerds. That's how I learned it. Oh, that was amazing. Why is it? That was the most incredible sex I ever had. Are all nerds good at sex like you?
Was he in
Yeah,
the Darth Vader mask?
it was kind of like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was actually like rape, but back in the early
Yeah,
'80s, it was
it
cool.
absolutely was.
You know, are all nerds as good at sex as you? Yeah. Why is that? All we think about is sex.
Well, it's weird.
All they think about is football.
His brother killed himself by hanging himself and jerking off. That's
Wait, what?
strange.
Oh, Carradine?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not strange. I mean, like we haven't put a
Lead
belt
singer,
around our neck and whacked it.
lead
Come on,
singer of NXS, right?
Michael Hutchins. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's
He
one
did a
other one.
3-hour concert when I saw him in San Diego. He was great.
I would have loved to seen him live.
He was amazing. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
great.
Talented dude. Super
What do you
talented.
think about Cornell and uh,
The lead
Linkin
singer of
Park?
Linkin Park.
Were they best friends? And they freaking they took the
There's a
dark
lot of
road
rumors. There's a lot of
and
rumors about
next to
those
each other,
two. There's a lot of rumors about those two.
or were they part of the cabal that the Clintons run?
There's part of there's rumors that that their laptops had stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff, right? Nobody knows, right?
That's not true. People know.
That is true.
I heard this from a reputable source. I've not seen Witness, and I don't even look for it.
Right.
Although, if you want to go Tor browser hunting sometime and you want to go into the dark web, I'll do it as a show, and we'll go take a look. I'll show you what's out there. There's a lot out there, guys. The economy that they tell you about is 1% of the economy that's actually out there.
Right.
This is how you start to understand that the Matrix is real. The blue pill, red pill is real. Because if you just go look in the dark web and find out what's not published, there's a universe that is 100 million times bigger than what they put in front of you, those who control your data.
How about as soon as her trial started, the head of Twitter, the head of
Jack gone. He's like, sell my shit. How about?
Yeah.
My girl pointed this out because I was like, what? And then she's like, what do you think about Bill Gates? They got divorced, put all the money in her name.
Yep. There's a lot of crazy shit.
People are preparing. These big money movers, these big influencers are preparing for shit to hit the fan because they just announced that they are going to open up the black book during the trial. And they did not expect that to happen. That
Nope.
means someone's got to take the fall, and they better. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just pay attention.
Who's Anonymous J?
Anonymous J, may I ask you a question? Yeah, please go ahead and ask one.
Absolutely.
You want to come on? I'll send you a link. You want to pop up, hear your voice, hide your face?
Could you
But-
do like that deep throat thing where it's like,
Yeah. I've got randomizers and Fox. I don't know. That's interesting to me. It's strange when you think about just your big movers and shakers. And I was talking to my girl, and I was like, "What about the Facebook whistleblower thing?" So it was obviously done on purpose.
yeah, but it was a different
divert your attention over here.
right. But the whistleblower wasn't what everybody thought it was going to be. They were going to think, yeah, it was like,
The agenda of the whistleblower was to get the politicians to say, "You're right. We need to regulate this stuff."
Correct.
You're right. Freedom of speech is a bad idea. We need to regulate this, but it didn't work.
God, and the new head of Twitter, oh, so bad. I don't really care so much about what is the truth, but what is, that everybody's voice gets to be heard. It's like, what? I'm like, that's the opposite of what it should be.
Anonymous J, what's your question? Come on. But right? I don't care about the truth, just that everybody
everybody has the same amount of airtime. It's just not.
But that again sounds like you're mirroring what conservatives would tell you. Like, look, the conservatives are like saying we don't want to have our speech limited.
Correct.
We want to be able to tell.
I don't think anybody's speech. You have every goddamn right to be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
You do.
It's up to society to figure that out with you.
Correct. Yeah,
but if everyone is saying that these organizations are bad because they have suppressed conservative libertarian points of view, then for them to come out and say, no, we say everyone, which means no matter how crazy we think it is, we're going to put it out there too. What are your thoughts on the new party that's being created? It's not Democratic or Republican, but there is a new party being established. I know there's one that Andrew Yang had said he was going to start, and then there's another one after that too. I don't know, what was Yang's called? I forget what his was called.
His problem is Yang is so wishy-washy, and it started with the Green Party, right? Green Party was the first of the third, right? Of the third.
The Republicans actually were.
Really?
Yeah. The Republicans were the first third party because it was the Whigs, the Democrat, and then...
I'm talking about more modern times, I guess.
1860 is pretty modern. Just kidding.
You're such a turd.
Sorry.
Oh my God, I just called you a turd. That is the lamest fucking thing I've ever said.
You're a turd. Well, you're a bunk.
Yeah. Libertarian is obviously a party that was created, the Green Party, and I don't know what Yang's...
So let's see what's out there right now. So I knew Yang's was Andrew Yang joins the third party movement, ballot measures. This was October. Mobilize the states.
Here's the problem with a third party. And you know what? I'm going to bring up Bernie. Bernie should have gone third party. He was not going to win the Democrat, but he would have brought legitimacy to a third party. He would have been the trailblazer to take the hit. He still took the hit because the DNC made sure he was not going to win.
Well, he's not viable. He's a fucking 80-year-old socialist.
But the amount of votes that he actually got, and he would have gotten if he ran as a third party, but there's no money behind it.
Right. But you're saying it's like Ross Perot split the vote and gave it to the Democrats because he took 9% of the vote away from Bush and gave it to Clinton. Then he did it again, but at least he wasn't a full third party candidate the second time. we've had it. The problem with third-party candidates is they tend to spin from the conservative libertarian side because of the conflict that
Well,
happens.
not Bernie. Bernie didn't.
Bernie's like a wannabe tried and true socialist, but he,
Listen, I want
yeah,
everybody.
no, he's bad. He's bad.
Well,
But he would split the Democrat ticket.
but here's and they knew that, and that's why they basically convinced him not to run as a third. So here's the deal, right? Like I think I think the way that England does it, and other countries do it, where there's so many different parties.
Right.
The problem is this:
You have
is
9
that,
people in your party, and that was enough to take it.
right? Well, there's unfortunately in the U.S. there's not enough money, and not enough publicity for these additional parties right now. The system still is the way it is. It's still either Republican or Democrat. I'm all for it. I am absolutely for it. The problem is there's no money in it, and in our country, if there's no money behind it, there's really no voice behind it.
Right.
Right.
Because the media is not going to get into it. You're
No.
not going. You're
'Cause
going to be publicized by the people who make the money from doing it.
I mean, your podcasts and your Fox News are your conservatives, right? And everything else is Democrat. Everything else.
The Joe Rogan party. So the Forward Party is the one Andrew Yang.
Forward Party.
Forward Party. It had a different names.
He has a lot of ideas that I do not like at all. But
And then you got a new political party hopes to make inroads in Texas. The Serve America what? The Sambuck? What is this? Why am I getting a fucking ad?
now you're on the list.
The Serve America movement, or SAM, and its leaders say their goal is to fix the country's broken political system. How? The group filed its paperwork with the Secretary of State Monday. It's coming out of Texas. And they got SAM.
Texas is in deep shit, dude. They're gonna turn blue.
We wanted to welcome it. We want to work together as Texans to solve problems. Jolly said about 40% of Americans identify as independent, and in Texas it's in the high 30s. If I'm a wealthy donor, special interest group, blah, 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 blah. Sam, so you got the Forward movement, and then you've got Serve America movement. What do I think about them? I don't know. I think it's kind of, if you're going to split, you're going to have one group who's going to split the left, you have another one that's going to split the right, then it feels like a 50-50 chance still.
Yep.
I mean, when it comes to the Electoral College, who is the group of representatives that serve on behalf of the people or not, which is why you have a majority win and you have Electoral College or majority loss, Hillary, and Electoral College win. You have a majority win, Gore, and not an electoral win, Bush, but then a Supreme Court win, Bush.
We need to do the next time for election night. We really should do a podcast for election night.
I think we should do, actually. Absolutely.
I think that would be outstanding.
Whatever. Let's make a calendar of the elections that are happening, and let's just follow them along.
Yeah, I mean, it would be super interesting because it's super important. What's going to happen in the next 2 years is going to shape this country for a while. So I really listen. I love Trump's policies. He was the worst. He was his own worst enemy PR wise. I'd love to see DeSantis run. I just don't know if he has the name recognition.
DeSantis and
you know who I'd love? Dan Crenshaw is who I would love.
The pirate. That guy's a badass.
But you know who I wouldn't mind either?
Jocko Willink.
No, he's gonna have way too many skeletons in his closet, dude.
Literally.
Yeah.
He murdered.
Yeah. And I love him and everything, and I love all that stuff about him. But I just no. The other one would be Tulsi. I'd like Tulsi to
I
fucking.
want Dan and Tulsi.
No, I want
Put them on a ticket.
DeSantis and Tulsi. That's who I want.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
He's got the cachet, and he's a man.
yeah, and
Which
in 8 years, or hopefully they would win a second time, Crenshaw and Candace Owens. That's who I want.
whoa, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be. So
Damn.
great answer. How do you feel about one party?
That's called authoritarian. That's
I
a bad
don't.
idea.
I think that's what's currently happening right now in the country.
That's what happens. So when you have and for the record, America, I always had that there. This flag, where did it go? That one. Whoa! I bought that one and I put it up in my gay daughter's bedroom. And then I made them look forlorn as I took a picture of the Trump 2020 flag. And I didn't vote for him the first time around. I couldn't get behind it. I was just like, no, bad. And here, this is truth. I've done none of the above votes before because both candidates sucked ass. And I understood that I threw away the vote when I voted for Perot in 92. And again,
Gary Johnson.
And Gary Johnson. I understood what I was doing. And it was my political dissent because I'm against shitty fucking politicians. I'm against people who don't have defined term limits in the legislature. I'm against the fact that people think the executive has more power than they do. I'm pissed off that the executive can get out and make a speech and the populace is so dumb that they think they have to listen because Louisiana, they just declared unconstitutional as far as they can tell because of the separation. And it's not separation of powers, because of the duties assigned by the Constitution to the executive and the legislative, that the executive can't come out and bypass you and make laws. And then that'll go to the Supreme Court, and you're going to find out that the mandates aren't legal, and you should never fucking listen in the first place.
Correct.
And to be pressured over fear of losing your livelihood, ridiculous. It's the fact that anybody listened in the first place pisses me the fuck off because no one knows enough to go, yeah, that's not your job. That's not your job. You're a bum on the side of the road. You don't tell me what I have to do for my employer. That's their obligation. That's their contract.
So, Anonymous J, what's your thoughts on this? I mean, because you asked a couple of questions. What are your thoughts on it? I'd find that interesting. So that's also different from libertarians and conservatives compared to Democrats, is that we actually give a shit. We'd like to hear other people's opinions and whether they differ from ours or not, because everybody has different life experiences. We talked about that before. Doesn't matter, the transplanted devil. It's where you're from. Things may look a totally different way, and that's your life experience.
That's a good point.
Boy, that was a good fucking plug, John. That was pretty good. That's like marketing.
Here, I'm going to jump on to Twitch and clip that. Hey, Anonymous or whoever, clip that. Go. We got 30 seconds. Don't make me back up. Nice work.
Yeah, but I would definitely like to hear. Well, like I said it before, right? The difference between a conservative and a liberal is, you find out your liberal friend who's vaccinated got sick. What do you say? Oh God, I hope you feel better. I hope you get better. And I even said it, oh, well, maybe the vaccine helped you not get hospitalized. But if you're a fucking liberal or I don't even want to say liberal, if you're a Democrat, because there's a difference, there's such a difference now.
Right.
If you're a Democrat and like me, I got COVID, I wasn't vaccinated. I had 4 different people say to me, don't you feel stupid that you didn't get vaccinated?
Right.
Instead of fucking saying, hey, I hope you feel better. Is there anything I could do for you?
Right. It's like the empathy goes out the window. That's funny because I had a couple of people that, because of our discussions about that, I had a couple of people who I knew were very, like pro-vax, like, no, you're a fucking idiot. Like, just do it. Do what you're told. Follow along.
Right.
So when I got SARS-CoV-2 and they reach out and they're like, "Oh, how are you feeling?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's rough. I feel like I have a fat chick sitting on my chest. That's why I can't,
And
I have these moments where I panic because I realize I forgot how to breathe, and then that's upsetting. My oxygen's fine. Like, these things are all fine. There's no recipe on how to handle this, which is ridiculous.
right.
But everyone makes you feel guilty if you have a plan. The first time I got sick and didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
That's manufactured. That's gross. But I was like, otherwise fine. And then as soon as somebody, if I knew that they were pro one way of thinking, they were like, "Well, can I ask you a personal question?" I'm like, "Thick, yeah, go ahead." And they're like, "Did were you vaccinated?" And those who needed to hear it, I told them yes, double vax plus booster.
Did you really?
And they're like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Yeah, breakthrough is fucking real." I mean, apparently I won't die or wind up in the hospital, which gives me peace of mind. I don't know how, but I believe it. Why not? I did it. They're like, "Fuck, man, I'm double vax booster too." I'm like, happens. I said, my kids just got it too. They're all vaccinated. They're like, "Holy shit." I'm like, yeah, it happens. And then I had the other camp who were like, "Jesus, is there anything I can do? Let me bring you some stuff. What do you need?
Right.
I'll buy you toilet paper." Like, what do you need, man? It's
Right.
got to suck. Is it scary? I'm like, it's a little scary because I feel alone because not only I'm alone, so that's its own challenge.
It's
But when you're
real.
sick and vulnerable and you realize that
It's
there's
super real.
you don't have the proximity of someone to come take care of you, you're like, I didn't realize I needed to be taken care of, but that would have been nice.
Right.
My girl lives further away, but she was always like, she was with me all the time. Fucking Instacart, fucking faux showing up at my, like, she took care of me. She was great. But so for those people, they're like, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" Everyone was curious. Did you get the jab? I said, "No, absolutely not." Even though, because I'm overweight and I have high blood pressure, it puts me at a 4% mortality rate as opposed to a 0.01% mortality rate.
Right.
I feel confident that I'm going to battle this respiratory virus just like I have any other in the past. I've had pneumonia, I've had whatever.
Yeah.
They were like, "Okay," I'm like, "Cool. So are you going to get the shot now?" I'm like, "I don't see what the point is.
Right.
I don't see the point if I have natural immunity to go get
Correct.
unnatural immunity that's not even the virus."
Right.
Because I don't see the spike protein as being something that's going to have any power overall because of 3 shots needed in
Right.
less than a year in order to maybe. So I'm like, I'm good.
I,
They're like,
I I
okay,
don't want to. I don't want to speak for Geoff, Anonymous J, but I think we feel the same way you do. Is that if somebody wants to get vaccinated, that's all. That's
do
up
it.
to them. Yeah,
Personal
absolutely.
choice.
I,
Do it.
I agree 100% that my wife got it and my daughter got it, whatever. But it shouldn't be mandated. It absolutely should. Why is it my body, my choice when it comes to fucking killing another human being,
Right.
but it's not when you want to decide whether or not you're going to take a vaccine?
Yeah.
I think that is a trip and a half. But I don't, I think Geoff agrees. But yeah, I mean, the mandate's wrong. It's absolutely fucking wrong on
Yes.
something that's unproven, untested. You have no idea. And now they're going to vaccinate kids from 5 to 11. Who the fuck knows what it's going to do to reproductive organs?
Right.
Nobody knows, and it's
Right.
not like, oh, you're a conspiracy. No, just they don't know. They can't give you the answer, and this new variant is kicking the shit out of the shot. It just it's not effective against it. So I'll take my immunity. Immunity? No, immunity. Um, my antibodies against any variant
Right.
compared to this manufactured thing that was made basically yesterday. In the world of vaccines, this
Right.
was made yesterday,
Right.
and there's no testing that's been
Right.
done.
Right.
So
Just logic it out for me. If you get it, can you still get sick? Yes. Can you still transmit it? Yes. Can you actually guarantee that I'm not going to die? No.
no, you can't.
Do you guess that I probably won't? We guess. Can you prove
Right.
it? No.
Right.
Okay. Can I not wear a mask? No. Can I transmit it to somebody else? Yes. Am I more likely to be asymptomatic and be positive and then transmit it? Yes.
Correct.
So I won't know that I have it. So that means I'll give it to more people if I
Correct.
do, but don't know. Yes. Does a shot last? No. How long does it last for? I don't know, 60% efficacy, but you have to get a new one within 6 months. Wait, why? Oh, because we don't know until we know. We're just figuring it out. Why do I have to get a booster? Because it wore out. Why at 6 months am I considered to not be vaccinated if I get put into a hospital?
Oh,
Well,
I
because it's all bullshit. It doesn't stop anything, improve anything. We're just guessing and we're trying to sell it to you. Why do you then move it into a group that has a mortality rate that's less than 1/100%?
right.
600 people out of 69 million have died,
And only
yet
10 to
more
20 of
people have
those,
had ill effects from the shot.
and,
Why
and
would you tell me that's
only
better odds? Because
and
we said
only
so.
10 to 20 of those didn't have a pre-existing situation like
Right,
MS.
right. Kids with
MS was
leukemia, kids with
kids that
MS.
had MS
Right,
died because
right,
of they had MS. So I have a
right,
funny story. I have a friend of mine who is got the 2 shots, and she was like, "Well, what do you mean I have to get a booster?" I said, "Well, that's the new thing. After 6 months, you have to get a booster." "Oh no, that's stupid." I said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh no, 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 no! If you're in, you're in. It
right,
can't all of a sudden become stupid.
right,
It can't. You've made this decision to follow what they are saying every time. The third shot was what put you over the edge?
right,
Really?
right.
Look at Israel's numbers. That's the best country to go by.
90% of them vaccinated, and what's their fucking
Yeah,
it's
they're starting to see
60% infected?
right. They're starting to get insane amounts of deaths with people that are fully, and that's with boosters. In fact, they're
Right,
on their fourth shot in
right.
Israel.
So understand this: an mRNA shot that has spike protein, it is not a facsimile of the virus. It's not. It's a protein that stimulates your white blood cells
To
into fighting
attack
off
anything foreign in your body.
anything foreign. So understand what HIV does.
Oh, by the
HIV,
way, that's in Pfizer and Moderna. HIV.
HIV is a virus that mutates 214 times in its half-life, and its half-life is 72 hours. That means in 1.5 days, that virus changes 242, I'm sorry, 242 times in a day and a half. So what that means is when your immune system is pumping out antibodies, white blood cells, in order to fight that infection, it goes, okay, here's what it looks like, create, go. And as soon as it releases, they're like, oh shit, that doesn't work. Send out another group,
Right.
this group.
It's
And
changed.
it
Right.
mutates so quickly that
Right.
it literally depletes your immune system. And then that's when HIV, it's immunodeficiency virus, turns into acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Now you have no immunity, and now you die of cold, Kaposi sarcoma, the spots, cancer, pneumonia. You die from things that you wouldn't die from before because your immune system is literally done.
And
So,
what's scary to me,
Fauci, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Fauci was in charge during 1983, 84 when that came out. And he said, oh, everyone's going to die.
well, he said also if you lived in a household with somebody who had AIDS, there was a real good chance that you were going to get it and you would
Right.
die.
Because they didn't know how it worked.
Correct. So what's a trip on this is that you've been wearing masks for 2 years. Your immune system is not capable of fighting most things that normally we would fight. So not only do you now wear
Recognize.
that mask, now you're going to get the vaccine, and now you're fucking doubly trouble.
Because your body is trying to fight a foreign antibody, just like HIV.
Correct.
Get your body to spend its white blood cells until you can't fight anymore.
Right.
Like, do you get that?
Right.
Here's a shot. Here's another shot. Here's a booster. All you're doing is telling your body to work harder.
Right.
And then there's like, guys, there's these viruses coming that they don't even give a fuck about the spike protein. Well, the viruses were never afraid of the spike protein because they don't impact it. The spike protein forces your immune system to work in double and triple time. Same concept as HIV.
Yep.
Do you get that? Why would you get a fucking HIV shot in your fucking arm? Why would you do that? You can't tell me that scientifically it's there to work your immune system artificially. And then say this virus that does it too, that's bad. We have to actually suppress your immune system from even recognizing it exists in order for you to live. But we're going to give you something that forces it to work.
And that opens you up to so many other things that all right. I have to leave you because it's 1:30.
Sorry. I get, guys, just educate yourselves or pay attention. Tell your friends, come check out the show. Just listen to the parts. Tell them like 1 hour and 45, and like the last 10 is really good.
No, we had a good show.
No, we did.
It was funny.
It was a good show, buddy.
So I am going to text you and harass you about Thursday. Hopefully you'll hang out.
Yeah.
And we'll have a little bit of a fire. I'll teach you a little bit about bocce ball. You get some old friends that from McDonald's that you could see that you may know. Remember Andres?
Oh yeah,
he goes. Nicole will be there. So yeah, you can come and say hello. And love you, brother. You have a good night.
Will I get hugs? Will I get affection?
A little grinding too, probably.
Ooh, Andres will give me some grinding. What's up? I remember you. It's been a long time.
It's like, ooh, the soup can. Ooh. All right, have a good night.
Good night, my friend. Take care.
Bye.
The soup can. So, hey, it's 1:30 in the morning. I have a day job. That sucks. I probably have to get up early too. Hey, Anonymous Jay, thanks for stopping by, checking it out. I appreciate you. And Timmy was new. Of course, the ladies, Missy and Amber, appreciate you. And anybody else who's on the peripheral. And according to my data analysis afterwards, there's usually about 150, 200 people on the peripheral who are checking stuff out, but they never cruise in, so I know who you are. I appreciate it. Topics are varied on the shows that I do, but you can obviously tell by what I'm passionate about and what my friends are passionate about that we kind of head down similar paths. If you do the things that you're passionate about, you will attract like-minded people. And when that happens, then your community becomes a tribe, and you can do anything. It's amazing what happens when you find your tribe. We're a huge fucking country, and we're a huge world. There's so many of us that we all want our voices to be heard somehow. And I don't know, maybe a bunch of people want to be like Joe Rogan and Adam Carolla, and they need millions of people to listen to them. And there's strength in that, and there's power in that, there's influence in that. But a tribe is about 150 people. You can know about 150 people before you start losing names. And then Timmy and Anonymous Jay and John, Missy, Amber, Becky, Geoff, all y'all. I would rather have 150 of you and know that you have a place to go to when you need to remember that you are at home than 15 million people who, I would just have to avoid in the streets. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Back catalog is on Twitch as well as YouTube, the shelfhelpshow.com. and Jeffrey Sinatra. You can search for either of those. Even Alexa can look that up for you. Alexa, find Jeffrey Sinatra on YouTube. Pops right up. So appreciate it. Thanks for checking it out. Tell a friend. Come back. And remember, it's all about this. Love one another and love yourself. That's it. Good night. Hey, cheers to you. Cheers.